kindergarten coffee.
Jesus Christ.
But it's not a tumor.
Okay. Hello, and greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the role players, which you've just experienced. Yes. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of friends and actors here in Los Angeles. Well, that might change this episode. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
It's gonna be a night.
Fucking Peter.
Shut it! I'm doing my intro.
Sorry.
Here, playing the world's greatest role-playing game ever created. As you know, the Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I'm Judd, I'm your Dungeon Master, but obviously you want to see these crazy people. My people. My players. Say hello, players.
Hi, players.
Hi.
Genevieve and I we're not there yet tonight. We're not there yet tonight. I tried to do a red Corvette.
Communicating.
We're not communicating. We love animals together, but we don't know.
No, seriously, I don't know if something's wrong, but I only see Genevieve and Peter in the stream.
Well, absolutely, that's the way it should be because we are the ones.
I only see Judd, but I think mine's really delayed. So
everyone's there. Everyone's in my stream.
Oh, okay. I think I was just
That's weird because like you're not even supposed to watch the stream, so that's kind of crazy.
I know.
Anyway,
it was probably like the top half.
Yeah, I've been confirmed.
Cool.
It's fine. All right, everybody, it's so great to see you again. Thank you for joining us as we jump back into our homebrew D&D 5e adventure of the Lost Continent. We have some pretty exciting announcements tonight. We continuing our stream of exciting announcements. First up, I believe, Brent.
Yes. Hello, folks. Tonight is super special because we are doing a big charity stream push for Extra Life. Extra Life is a charity that supports the Children's Miracle Network hospitals all around the world. And we will be specifically supporting the Children's Miracle Network of Los Angeles this evening. And we will also be donating for each follow tonight. You will help donate to Extra Life. So please hit the follow button, give us a follow, and you too can help one child, maybe two. We'll see. We're going for 3. Help us help our few children.
Yes.
That was epic.
That was fantastic.
Thank you, Brent.
We are super excited about that. 1 follow, donation, make it happen. You'll see we've got our progress bar, which has already moved since the stream has started. So you people out there are absolutely astonishingly amazing, and we love you. We also have 2 very special sponsors tonight. A friend of the show and probably in chat at the moment. Wildspire Miniatures, and of course, Family Fantasy RPG. So we're giving away a box of minis from Wildspire and an adventure from Family Fantasy RPG. And if you've ever wanted to play D&D with your kids, this is your chance. You win this and you can. It's fantastic stuff that they've created. By the way, highly recommend playing D&D with your kids. It is such a fun adventure. Definitely get on it. Well, this is your chance. So the adventure giveaway is built specifically with these kids in mind. And we're also going to be adding some Skull Splitter dice in there, of course, our ongoing sponsor. So stay tuned for details on that. And also, we're just realizing, well, not just realizing, but in 2 weeks, y'all, we're going to be back on our set.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
So excited. Winky and I were literally pulling things out and dusting them off and getting ready to set up all the gear. So
we set it up and then we just sat there like
we did. I have pictures to prove it with his shit-eating grin. It's fantastic. Cannot
They have not been on set yet.
No.
So
yeah,
it's a whole different experience when you're not doing it with Zoom and you actually get to see each other.
Suddenly we will hate each other.
Oh no, it just gets better and better.
with expectation.
It'll
we
be better
might
than that.
smell each other for the first time.
Oh, right. And I might have to have pants on. So that is something to keep in mind.
We'll probably need to shower.
True.
Can we have the set be a pants-free zone, guys? Come on.
So look for us on the 21st of May, back on set. It'll look different, new overlay, and we'll all be in the same room. And we're super excited. We are all vaccinated, which is why we're doing it then. All right. And Winky, you got a couple more.
Hey guys, so you might know that this last week we had our very first episode of Winky's Wonderful Wares, and thank you to anyone and everyone who showed up for that. It was so much fun, and I'm really excited for next week. If you didn't know about it, it's going to be on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're just going to have like a creative corner and a korero, which is I shouldn't use that word, but it's a conversation in Māori, te reo Māori language, and just a fun time on the sort of the midweek Wednesday slot. And on that Winky's Wonderful Wares, I'm going to be painting miniatures, which will actually be available in our brand new revamped Patreon. So if you didn't know, we have restructured and revamped our Patreon to add so much value to all of our supporters. There's crazy stuff in there, like inspiration die to influence the world of Anacroli. There are one-shots that you can play alongside the cast and DM'd by a cast member as well. And of course, you can also receive miniatures as well. So check it out. It's really, really cool. And we're super excited about it. Awesome. Thanks, guys. That's all from me.
Yeah, thank you. All right, everyone. I think that's it for announcements.
That is not it. That is not it. That is not it. Hold
what is it?
on. Wait a minute.
Do you have something? Is there something that I almost forgot?
You did. Just in.
What could
First
that
of all,
be?
to all those mamas out there, to my mama, happy Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. We love you. The courage. A mother is the womb of the universe. Yes, I'm going on and on and on, but that's how much I love moms. I love my mom. So, Mom, if you're watching, happy Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. Happy Mother's Days to all of you moms out there. And now, a very special announcement to our my dear friend, and our dear teammate, Azar. As we all get together for a little birthday song.
Oh.
In only that we can do. It's in tune, and it goes something like this: a one-a and a two-a and a three-a. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Love you. Happy birthday.
We just put Marilyn Monroe to shame.
And we're so
you
sorry.
did. You really did.
TGIFs have nothing on us right now. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. Happy Mother's Day and happy birthday, Azar.
Here.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Dungeon Master Joe,
All right.
bring us into some motherfucking D&D.
All right, adventurers, grab some ale, grab some weapons, sit back and ready for adventure on tonight's episode of The Role Players. We'll be right back.
Gives you a sensation to explore. Mystical creatures roam this world. Stay close to each other. Teamwork is your mother. Be safe and find your way.
We're in.
All right. Well, so bringing it in. Oh, gotta time my music. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. All right. So, if you remember last week, in the lost continent of Anacroli, The party started their adventure running for their lives from a massive bird, locally known as a patak. Darting from cover to cover, the creature flew down, snapping at all of you. Quick thinking and judicious use of spells allowed you all to just barely make it to a steep hill leading down into a shrouded valley. There you all passed 100-foot tall mushroom trees. You evaded a Goblin Warband that seemed to have some heavy and scary creature in tow. And you managed to move silently and swiftly through and out of that valley. At the crest, you found a nice place to make camp for the night. And it was just in time too, as there was a ridiculously fast-moving and vicious storm rolling in. It started pounding you with rain. Caliban had the first watch, and as he was sitting there looking out from this little hole you discovered, you heard a fell voice on the air, and as it boomed out, lightning struck all around you, and moments later, 3 awakened trees attacked you. You managed to defeat them, but it left you all feeling a bit uneasy. Trying to get back to sleep, Rika, you fell into some sort of a vision. You entered a large white stone room full of interesting objects and potions and weapons, but it was this strange, fiery, spinning hourglass that seemed to draw you in. And as you got closer and looked inside, you saw something or someone inside with black horns and red skin, their eyes widening at shock upon seeing you, and from there screaming out your name, asking for help, waking you up instantly. Later on Ariset's watch, you spotted a silent centaur hunting nearby and was taken with the majesty of the creature. Finally, the next day, you all set out again. Hours later, you came upon a man washing himself by the side of a river. He gave you all an uneasy feeling, but Ariset decided something was wrong with him. She turned to pursuit, firing arrows and damaging his cart's wheel and stopping him. Fearing attack, he jumped in the river where Ariset pursued. Rika cast a spell to create vines to stop him, but inadvertently drowned him. Ariset pulled him to the side and revived him with her last health potion, but he was far from grateful. Ariset left some coin in apology and returned to her group, who were not happy with her. And that's where we find you today. So as the sun shines brightly overhead, the snow-capped peaks of the Edorath Mountains off to your left, and the kingdom of Thamrin ahead, you all make your way north, on the backs of the most magnificent griffin-like Kusei, nothing like chickens. What would you all like to do?
As we're making our way up the foothills, we're actually gaining elevation now, aren't we, DM?
You are.
Is that right?
Yes.
Are we at a point yet where we're sort of like elevated above the horizon?
Actually, at this point you are. As you look around, and most specifically looking back, you can see that you have gained quite a lot of altitude and attitude.
Can I just
And attitude.
and attitude? Can I just like survey the landscape behind? So can I see all the way back to Mosul, or what's?
I tell you, roll a perception check.
Also looking out for any magically encanted storms or things such as that, which may have attacked us the night before. That will be a 15.
15, yeah. So if you remember, the storm had already passed and had made its way moving west over the mountains, and by the time you woke the next day, the sky was clear. Looking back, you definitely can't see Mosul. You realize just how much ground that you actually have made. You see the vast forest that you had passed through. You see the dark shrouded valley that you managed to stealth through. And it looks like you've gone far more leagues than you expected as you look back. There might be, that black dot on the horizon might be Mosul, but it's really hard to tell. You've gone quite far. But your breath catches a moment, because it is one of those spots that, you know, you just happen to find that moment where something causes you to turn around and you see the majesty of this land. It is, in all of its danger and wildness, it is beautiful with the forest, the trees, the various wildlife that's not trying to kill you at the moment moving around, and these gorgeous mountains and the river next to you.
Continue along.
Okay. All right, so you're just all on your Kuseis making your way north. If someone would like to roll a d8 for me.
I got you.
Who's on D8 duty? Go, Rent.
7.
Okay. So just to remind you, about this time of day, you know, you're sitting around probably 10 o'clock at this point. You know, it's still, you know, the sun is still on the rise, but the golden rays are nice and warm, and this river swiftly moving past you to your left at the foothills of these enormous mountains. You carry on for a couple hours, actually, and about 2.5, 3 hours later, you hear a distinct kind of snapping noise coming from the forest to your right, which you've been watching as, you know, there are parts where the trees start to thin and then kind of clump back up. For the last hour or so, it's not close, it's a couple 100 feet away, but the forest there off to your right is starting to grow denser and darker, light barely permeating its boughs above. And you're hearing a distinct inside. Sounds significant.
Should we check?
No, not unless something comes out and gets us. I think we should ride on. But what does the group say?
Well advised to leave well alone.
At that moment, you see all of these birds, and they're not small birds. They're like maybe 3-4 feet across in their wingspan, erupt from trees, scattering quickly. And you see trees start to waver a little bit. It looks like it's maybe 50 feet in from the edge of the forest.
Something's coming. We should go.
Let's go. We'll outrun it.
All right.
Okay. Everybody, just for fun, give me an animal handling check, and I'm going to use this for
Oh, come on.
the rest of your journey. Yeah.
Jan's Kusei turns in the opposite direction.
Hit beelines for the forest. What's
He
that?
rolls. in his game.
All right,
I rolled a 15.
15. What else you got? Everyone?
12.
That's an 11.
13,
Okay. All right.
18.
DC 10.
Yeah, exactly. Some of your Kusei are a little bit slow to start. There's something that is a kind of attracting their attention in the forest, but you manage to kind of pull them back, and they're kind of snapping at you. And once you really click your heels in, a couple minutes later, they start to pick up speed. And once again, as it builds, you start to see just how fast these creatures are. I mean, easily twice as fast as horses. So as their feet are, and you're just navigating very deftly up this side of this river, flying on the ground, ahead, you see a structure starting to grow out of the distance. Very clearly, something made of stone, rising up and growing as you near.
Like actually growing, or it's like we're seeing it?
Yeah, it's just getting larger as you get closer.
Okay.
And it looks like it's on the opposite side of the river, as you see that the mountains kind of pull away a little bit from the edge of the river here and recede a bit, creating a little bit more land on the opposite bank. But the foothills go up to the peaks here extremely steeply. And about another 30 minutes, as that building is getting larger and larger, you see a stone bridge ahead. And it looks like it connects to a road, and you start to see a stream of carts and people and horses, both moving towards and away from this stone bridge that passes over the river. What would you guys like to do?
So we
Across
saw
the
a
stone
structure,
bridge.
right?
The structure is on the far side of the bank. You're still some distance, but I just want to give you a heads up. You can now see a fairly large bridge.
Okay.
Are the people? There's people coming and there's people going in a sort of a traffic. But where are the people going? Are they coming back down towards us?
No,
Or
it looks like a road that cuts due east.
Okay. Well, I'll. Are they dwarven?
Roll perception check for me.
It's a 10.
Yeah, I mean, at this distance, they just look like humanoids. You're gonna have to move closer to get a better view.
I guess we go up.
Yo, let's go.
Okay. And I'll move.
I'll drop. I'm just gonna look at Erisette and go into her mind. Hey, you want to drop back with me? All right. I'm gonna just, draw back on my kusei, and just kind of let the group pass by, and I'll just kind of take up the rear with Erisette.
Okay.
Okay. While that's happening, I'll approach slowly. And when I get close enough to someone that I'm within speaking range, are they?
So you see all manner of folk here. Most of the dwarves that you see here are headed towards going over the bridge and heading for what you can now see the structure on the opposite side. Looks like some sort of fortification that must be the kind of entry point for Thamrin. And as you all get to this point, you can see that the bridge spans the river. There's a stone road there that leads to this structure that itself is probably 100 feet high. And then there is a massive bridge that goes back almost maybe 200 feet. And it's hundreds of feet off the ground at that point, to the entrance to what must be the dwarven city of Thamrin, built into the side of this mountain. And the scale is just awe-inspiring.
It must be, but I have to confirm as Keon. Hail. Say to someone, whoever is near.
Yes.
Thamrin's that way?
Yeah, you can't miss it. Just head over the bridge and head on up.
We heard things are getting pretty tense in there. Is there anything we should know about? We come from Mosul.
Roll a persuasion check.
Surprisingly persuasive boy. That's a 15.
Even without insight, you can see the moment you mention the tense kind of situation, the face changes a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's a 15.
Well, now, I'd reckon war is coming.
From below? Or from where?
I don't know. Good luck. And he kind of makes his way off, and he's a dwarf, and makes his way towards the bridge. But you can see now there are several Gith, there are humans, you see some elves that are starting to quickly make their way kind of out of the city. Some have full carts laden with material and other goods, and most of the dwarves seem to be on foot, making their way up and over the bridge, heading to the city.
Okay. I'll look back to Caliban. What do you reckon?
Fly route. Either they're trying to get things in or get them out. I know. We'll see. It's mostly the dwarves that are going back into the city, right?
Yeah. It's not only dwarves, but mostly dwarves are heading back that way.
Oh, probably a Citadel protocol. Try and get everything all guarded up and see. I expect they have someone coming to them, is my expectation. But let's go in and actually ask them and see what's going on. Do you remember that warband we saw to the south?
Maybe something to do with it. Yeah.
I'm betting. Plus, isn't that where the warband came from, the eastern side of the canyon, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it might be all heading that direction, but I don't know.
Oh, it's my case, but I'll wait there for the others to catch up.
Yeah, you look back and you can see that Seville and Erisette had slowed, and almost stopped now. Looks like they might be having a conversation. You two?
Hey, what's with the long face, lass?
Nothing. Just need to.
What are you sour about?
I'm not sour.
Look,
I just don't know that I can trust my instincts.
right? I think you could trust your instincts if you trust me with an assessment, because I've been watching you and we've been at each other the entire time since I met you. Hence why I called you Wild Sauce in the first place. Take it or leave it, but here's my assessment. I think your instincts are fantastic. I think your execution leaves something to be desired, yeah? Your people skills maybe, but come on, look. Again, I wasn't there when the incident happened, so I don't know, or I'd be a better, I'd be better at giving you some consolement there, but I don't know. I only know what you told me. But as far as that goes, I mean, you've been holding daggers to people's throats trying to get information since you got here, and I think I know you better than anyone else in the group, which isn't saying much because I've only known you for a little short time, but that there, unfortunate. But you know, I didn't see you going trying to kill anyone. I saw you trying to get some answers. We all had suspicions, and you just have a heavy touch. If you want to open up and talk about anything, I think, you know, it's about time you and I, you know, stop using me to take your aggression out and start using me to, you know, be a friend maybe. I mean, you and I have gone through.
Having any sounding boards.
Well,
No. Thank you.
all right. Yeah, you know, we're the only ones that know what's really going on here. We're trying to get everybody up to speed, but
I thought he might be a spy. I thought he might be a spy.
we all did. You're right about
He was
that.
what killed that dwarf. That we saw the bones of that other dwarf. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little antsy, a little worried.
I think so. I think you're on edge, and sometimes you don't handle it so well, and I understand that. You know, I've trained for 15 years to try to keep my poise and grace in situations like this, and so.
Poise and grace. Yes,
What?
you are more poise and grace than I am. I guess that's true. Very true.
I mean, you know, just a little bit. And I'll just kind of touch her in the arm. You got to smile more. Look, here's a strange thing we learned at the academy. We're raised and trained to face evil on the edge and to die for it, which seems morose and macabre. But we learn to have so much humor in the face of death and in all this intensity, because you have to. You'll go nuts, you'll snap, you'll go crazy, because your life is on the line all the time. You gotta muck it up a little and have some fun and just laugh a little, and maybe that's all that you're missing. You've been on a drive since I've met you. You've been on this passion project with your dreams, and I get you. Look, I'm here to die, and I will die for my country and for all these innocents, because I'm never going to see these. As long as I'm living, these necromancers are not winning. I guarantee you that. So, but you got to lighten up a little bit. It's the only way to survive, because this is going to go on and on and on. It's a marathon, and you just need to just relax and trust me a little bit. Look, I can learn from you, you can learn from me, but you and I got to be together on this once and for all. We can't, you know, we can't be at each other and pecking at each other all the time. It's you and me, lass. We're the last ones left from that previous group, and we got to set a good example here for the others. But I got your back. I trust you. Just, you know, have a lighter touch. And smile. Come on, let's catch up with the others. We'll talk later on.
I
and
take
stuff.
my kosei closer to his.
Kusei.
I'll reach my hand out.
Do you remember how you kept saying, you kept going, are you an elf? Are you an elf? Look, I'm not what you are. It seems like your people stayed away from men and other races. I'm trained to integrate with them, but I'm a long-lived race like you. I am an elf. And, you know, these folk, I don't know how long they live. I don't know actually what Caliban is, and Rika's still a mystery, but for Keon, that's a short life. But for elves, if we're lucky, that's 700 years. And we see a lot of comings and goings. So our perspective on life is vastly different than the others, perhaps. So I am full elf. I understand it all. But
The little Ranta.
I talk too much. I
You're
get
like
it.
no elf I've ever met. Ever. And I'm glad you're here with me.
Likewise, lass. Likewise.
And you're right. I have to learn to trust other people. And I'll start by trusting you. And I'll start by listening a little bit more. I just hope that the others in this party are allies.
Look, they don't know you. They don't know me. They've stuck around this far, and they're getting into some deep shit. I mean, poor Caliban, he doesn't even know what he's in for yet. But it seems like he needs us more, you know, like we need him. So, I don't know. We might not even be seeing the same faces when all this is over. I mean, let's enjoy this moment. Let's fight. Let's do what we think is right. And the rest is out of our hands, you know?
Thank you. And I ride up ahead.
And I'll just kind of slowly meander my kusei behind and just check out if anybody's watching us, checking the bridge because I know they know Araset and my face. They might know Rika's at this point. They might know Keon's at this point. So I want to see if anyone is checking right now.
Yeah, roll a perception check. As the two of you join the others, you also kind of take a moment to review this whole scene. And something I forgot to mention before, but there is a beautiful lake stretching out before you. It seems to be where this river originates from. And you remember seeing it on the map. It was the Sinosaur Lake, which is right at the foot of these mountains and the entrance to Thomren. And the sun is sparkling off of its slowly moving waters. There's a dock nearby with some, looks like some kind of smaller cargo ships, sailing ships, but clearly cargo, but they seem like they are kind of locked down at the moment. There are no crews other than a couple guards walking around on the docks. What'd you get, Seville?
23.
So there are quite a few beings here, as you see, everything from dragonborns, humans, elves, dwarves. You see one guy kind of eyeing you. Nothing looks overtly nefarious, but this one guy kind of catches your eye and he comes over and says, "Hey, how much for these kuseis? I got 200 gold. I just need one. 200 gold? Anyone?"
What for?
Sorry.
What are you looking for?
I need a mount. 200, 250, come on.
Not for sale.
Fine. It just kind of spins, gives you a dirty look and moves on.
I want to track him. What am I looking at here? Dwarf, human, other?
Human, like mid-30s maybe. It doesn't look like he would have 200 or 250 gold on him. Looks a bit rough.
I just think he's kind of just coming up to to check us out. I think it was a bump. So I
Yeah.
just want to make sure I clock his face and
Yeah, kind of a definitely like there's some edge to this guy. Like he's, you know,
yeah.
he seems a bit dangerous, and he's very quickly kind of filtering into the crowd and moving off to the east, moving away.
All right. I'm going to go into Caliban's mind because I know he does something similar to I do. Caliban, Seville. If your telepathy allows you to touch multiple people at the same time, clock that person that just came up to us and tell the others to look out for anybody trying to
Watch.
spot us. Yeah.
Okay. I tap Rika and feed the information to her, to Arisa, and to Keon, all in a succinct order. And what was the guy wearing?
He was wearing a dark, like ratty kind of traveling cloak, a lighter linen shirt, and kind of like dark green trousers, thick heavy boots. You didn't see any weapons on him, but as you're getting this information from Seville and relaying it to the rest of the people, you hear some, I just disappeared. He just disappeared. And you look over where that guy was cutting through people, and you see a few people have like backed up and created this little circle. And you do not spot that guy anymore.
I pull my cloak over my head and try to cover myself as much as possible.
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
Looks like we're marked already. So sorry about that, Caliban.
Whatever that means, I guess. I mean, Caliban's still fully garbed, hooded, cloaked, face covered. It's like, sure, yeah, let's go.
You head into the city, I guess.
Yeah, so
to the city.
you turn and you take your kuseis over this beautiful, obviously dwarven constructed bridge that spans the width of the river here, which is quite wide. It's like twice the width of the river where you had Ariset, you'd entered before. And as you make it to the other side, you see there's this beautiful stone road that leads up to that massive structure. And from here you can see it looks like ascending steps. There are, looks like massive set of stables down below on the first structure. And you see all these different creatures are being kind of tended to and goods being loaded and unloaded. And there's this wide main steps that go up to the first level. There you see two huge dwarven statues. It looks like one female, one male. They both have massive battle axes at their feet. And there are, in the wall behind them, there are all these little windows, and you can see dwarves with crossbows in there. And as you go up on that first level, two statues, off to each end of that, another set of stairs goes up, and there's a little platform there. Each side has two ballistas with dwarves manning them, and you can see them slowly turning. These are giant, like, crossbows, basically, manned crossbows. And then another set of stairs that goes to the very top of the structure, which is, again, about 100 feet up. There are guards walking the perimeter of the whole thing. It is extremely impressive. And then smaller steps up to the bridge that spans this canyon all the way over to the entrance of Thumrin. As you guys finish crossing the bridge, make your way over to the stables, you can see several dwarven guards here kind of eyeing everybody. Another young dwarf comes out. Hey, can I tie up your mounts?
Good place to jump off and get to walking. We got to see what's her name, Golda, right?
Oh, you're here to see Golda?
Yeah.
Well, do you have a writ? Do you have a note or something?
Look to Seville.
Tell her we're emissaries from the Tri-Council out of Mosul, and Bilner speaks from us, or for us.
Got it. Well, so you don't have a writ, that's no problem, but you're gonna have to pay to put your kuseis here until I get word, and then I'll refund your money.
No problem. What are we talking about for boarding?
1 gold a day per. And we
fine.
guarantee their security. If anything happens, we'll replace it.
Okay, good. Because there's someone looking at our Kuseis, and I give the description of the man who approached us and tell this guard here.
His brow furrows a bit, and he snaps, and one of the guards comes over. You can see him lean in. Keep an eye out. Right, we'll do what we can.
And I relay this, and I just say a dwarvish appreciation or gratitude saying to the ancestors for looking after our mounts
And you see
in
he's
dwarvish.
impressive, elf. Well done. Well, you're definitely welcome here. Take anything you want and make your way up the steps.
Much appreciated.
And this guy's not going to steal our crusade, is he, DM?
Insight check.
That is a 20, non-natural.
Yeah, I mean, you feel pretty confident the fact that he went over and talked to the guards, and it looks like he's got this whole system. So as you jump off your kuseis, he takes them over and finds a stall, and he writes down a little piece of paper, your stall numbers for your kusei, and hands you basically a receipt.
Before we go, I go up to each of our kusei and I give each of them a pat on the neck and just let them know that we'll be coming back for them soon. That's right.
Keon, you haven't had much dealings with dwarves, have you?
Not much outside the kingdom, no.
No. If they give you their word and they go against the word, they'd no sooner kill themselves than go back on something given. So we're okay here.
Good to know. Good to know.
And I go back to Ariset and I just turn around and be like, mustaches, no beards, weird.
Yeah, Ariset, you keep kind of staring at, I mean, you've done this the whole time in Anacroli, and just that, to see dwarves without beards from everything that you know is just so unusual. And the dwarves are varied here. You can see that they're not homogenous like you might have found elsewhere. You know, the various skin colors, slightly different heights. There are a couple dwarves that seem a little bit taller than you're used to, and they're a bit, I'll say, fancier than Faerun dwarves. There's a bit of an elven influence in their design. So it's, even though they still have their battle axes and hammers and whatnot, there's a little bit more kind of intricate, like filigree. I don't even know what that means, but yeah, something like that. More on their stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll kind of motion Keon up with me as we're walking through,
Yeah.
and
as you make your way up these steps,
Yeah.
and you just can't help but marvel at the creation and just the sheer size of these buildings that they create. And looking at the statues as you get up on that first level and passing, and you see dwarves up in the windows, and I mean, there are quite a few. There's something like 12 of these kind of portal windows where they have these crossbows, and they're just kind of checking everything. It does seem definitely heavily manned. You're going, continuing up?
Yeah, we're going up, and I'm going to Keon. It's like, look, I know you're curious about getting off of Anacroli and seeing what outside of it looks like. One of the main differences from Anacroli and Faerun, where I was stationed, the dwarves.
What are they like?
Anacrolian dwarves are a little bit different than Faerunian dwarves. So look at some of the architecture. You see, yeah, there's a lot of angles here, but there's also these curvatures that you will not see in Faerun, as the dwarves there are, everything has just an obtruse angle, sharp angles, but here you see some elven influences here. Keon, if you're a study of people, I got a lot to tell you about my travels, my friend. And I just kind of knock him on the shoulder and walk up. And the dwarves have huge beards in Faerun.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah. All right.
Me either,
Yeah.
sadly. Yes.
As we're walking up, we're pretty close to the where the guards are stationed up, or we can like.
You're about like half at this point. You're hitting the first, or really the second platform. If you could think of it kind of three-tiered, the top tier is where most of the guards are. But this middle tier you're on, which is really just a platform between the two stairs, so it goes up a level, another level. You see there are the two massive ballistas, and they're slowly spinning. They can rotate up and down. They stick out a little bit from the edge so that they can shoot straight down if they need to. And there are dwarven guards around them that just kind of eyeing you. They're like,
all right,
keep it going.
As well, since he's so close, I'm gonna psionically cast Detect Thoughts as we're going up, and just so I could read the minds as we pass by whatever the tension is in the air, just so I can get a better idea of what's going on.
I want to know that one.
That's a good one. Is that? I assume that's a save.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. Spells. And also note, since it's cast psionically, there is I'm no hand motions, no incanting. It's just as I drive by, like it's going off.
Okay.
For duration of the read, if a character you choose has intelligence 3 or lower, doesn't speak the name, blah blah, you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is the most on its mind. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature. It's a DC 15 save.
Got it. Wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. You see, he, move it along, move it. Okay. Move it along, and you don't get much out of this one.
Then I move on to the next person as I pass by.
Yeah,
And the same thing. I can keep it going for like a minute.
Okay,
Just
the next one fails. So, as you pass by, you can see this one a little bit smaller, a little bit scrawnier than the last one, and seems to be constantly. He's like kind of like doing this motion, like keep walking, but is just looking everywhere. Like can't seem to stop moving. The thoughts come to you extremely worried. There's not enough information being given to these people about what's happening. There are all kinds of threats, and he's like, is it dragons? Is it something happening to our world again? Are we going to get departed again? Are we under attack? Is it the Ersun Kingdom? Are they finally coming to take us? And just all these kind of like combative thoughts of fear happening as you pass by.
Okay, interesting. Then, okay, are we passing by that look like they're trying to get out of this city as well?
Yeah, roll a perception check for me, just to come and give the lay of the land for you.
What is going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out. So that is a 21.
So yeah, there are a couple people filtering down the steps still. Roughly the same kind of demographics that you saw out on the road. But there's one dwarven person who, male, it's hard to tell, but perhaps a little bit older, with jet black hair pulled back in tight braids down the back, nice clothes, almost looks like maybe silks, no armor, and is hurrying very quickly.
I try to catch whatever surface thoughts as he goes to.
Yeah, no problem. You rolled a 5. So the gist is there is a must escape. You get a kind of time running out vibe, and where I gotta get my mount. Must get out, and that's kind of all you get as he passes by. Indeed, you can see, even looking at his face, you can see the worry playing across his face as he's scrambling away.
All right, I drop the spell because it only lasts for a minute. And who's closest? I look to Rika.
Yeah.
Do these people look like they're freaking out to you?
I don't know. They just look like people to me. Do they look like that to you?
The energy and tension coming off them. reads as they're freaking the hell out. I don't know what's going on, but I don't think they know what's going on.
Is this not how people are supposed to look?
Not like this. I don't know. I've been to a couple, well, mainly 2 cities now, and usually everyone's a little calmer.
I suppose you're right. What do you think we should do about it?
Well, we should probably go to this Gilda lady or man, or I don't know the names for these things up here. So I'm like, let's find out what's going on.
Keep a low profile at least. The best we
Place is a
can.
fortress. I don't know what could be worrying them so much, but it must be big, right?
Perhaps it's coming from inside.
Or every side. What if every side was coming at you?
Be like a cave collapsing.
Well, we'll find out next
All
year.
right.
Yeah, and you start making your way up this, the final set of stairs for this kind of entrance structure. And cresting the top, you see there are quite a few guards. Most of them have either axes or pikes, and then there's a whole set along the front edge. And on the back edge with crossbows, there are a few more ballistas here, and it just seems like it is heavily fortified. A dwarf guard walks up to you with a pike. All right, step forward.
All right.
So you'll be submitted for a search as you approach inside. So if you want to cross the bridge, do it, but it's at your own behest. You might get turned away, just letting you know.
Okay.
Have you
Are they going to take our weapons?
That depends. Who you are
On
and what you're
what?
here for.
Okay.
All right,
Should be all right.
move on. Okay.
We go forward.
Move on.
Hey, Seville, can you help me with this cloak? And I'll take off my cloak and sew the armor shine.
The armor, which is a little battle damaged, right? It's a bit blackened, or have you cleaned it up?
I haven't cleaned it up, so I've been fireballed like 4 times in this armor. So
I'll do a little prestidigitation to make sure that stuff shines, especially the crest of his goddess.
Yeah.
Hopefully while his cloak is still on over.
And you
I'll
see
leave some scars, because he's battle tested. But
this this attracts a lot of attention. You see the guards, kind of like, hey, casters, wait a moment, and they come up, pikes ready. What was that all about then? Shining armor, casting on the bridge. What are you doing?
Oh, I apologize. I'm just cleaning my friend up. I thought perhaps our presentation would matter, so we have a meeting with Gulda.
This is official business, and it's been a long journey. Want to look the part, right?
And where are you coming from?
Mosul and
Mosul.
other places.
What other places?
There is some kingdom.
Aye.
Right. He puts his pike up. Continue. No more casting in our presence. We're a wee bit jumpy. Go on.
Understood.
And as Kian, you step forward, you kind of look down at your own armor, and it is gleaming now. Seville removed the soot, and you see that golden emblem of the bird, the symbol of your goddess Kaya. As you step up the final steps and you start making your way down this 200-foot long bridge, and as you go, you can't help but just take in, again, the majesty of this is breathtaking. You look over the side, you can see the ground varies from 100 to maybe 150, 200 feet down at spots. Up above, the crags of the Ebrath Mountains rise up, just disappearing in the sky, snow-capped at the top, and it's quite a sight. Ahead, you see the entrance carved right out of the mountain, almost a perfect square. 2 massive braziers flank a curved door with their flames and smoke swirling up into the sky above. There is above the door is a massive battle axe crossed with a massive hammer. And you see there are 2 columns on the very edges, and some more of what Seville was pointing out. Almost looks like an elven sort of kind of corner decoration as it goes up and it kind of rounds off. The thing doesn't look as severe as it would in a dwarven kingdom in Faerun. You're still passing a few people, some more dwarves ahead as they are quickly making their way down this long walk, and it is lined with more guards, just kind of endless dwarven guards here.
All right.
If you're not doing anything, we can just jump to the. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me talk to Seville and Keon real quick. So they're looking for casters. Everyone's worried about what's going on. People are fleeing the city. What do you think's going on? It feels like a war is getting ready.
Well, Caliban, you're new to the surface, and yeah, we got a war brewing here with the Necromancers. As I told you, the more you listen to, the more you're in.
So is this Necromancer a kingdom?
No, the Necromancers are sort of like wizards who are obsessed with the dead.
And there's
defilement.
like hundreds of thousands of them?
There's a lot of them. Archmage tied into a filthy god.
Yeah, but like
Enough of a threat to warrant kingdoms banding together.
I think there's something else to it, but okay. That's a good start.
It's not like they can't recruit.
I mean,
Sound afraid.
No, when you have something with recruitment, there's usually an economy backing. There's usually money involved. There's usually stuff that is tiered up that go along with it. When I think war, there's whole structures and institutions backed into it.
Yeah, we heard a lot of that in Vorden and Asley. The Necromancers have been infiltrating politicians, channeling gold. They've been doing this far longer than when we caught word of it. So we're just catching up to speed here. But they have a network, and they're quite ready for what they're about to do. So yes, they have funnels of money, cash, all that kind of thing.
The thing about necromancers, right, is they don't need money to fund an army. All they need is a spell and the dead.
Well, they did that in Luknor, so.
But that doesn't seem to be what they've done. And I've ridden up, I said, you seem to be convincing whole cities that the cities should align with them, which is exactly why I've been as touchy and suspicious of almost everybody I've seen so far in this entire realm. They've convinced entire cities and leaders that somehow aligning with them serves a higher purpose. I don't know how they've been doing it, but something about it smells awfully wrong to me.
Yeah, they've used, well, I know you're not in on this yet, Caliban, but we used to think that a wizard named Drevin was somehow opposed to the Necromancers, and perhaps they used that to their advantage. But now we know that Drevin and the Necromancers are one in the same, at least for now. So,
Seville, we know that. I'm just not sure that these people know that. They might still do the same strategy, tricking entire kingdoms into becoming allies on false premises.
Keep your voices down.
Once we get in front of Gulda, we can discuss more of that, but that's what I think the Tri-Council is all about, is getting ahead.
Alliances, or?
There's a lot of false alliances, but just to be short, the Necromancers have coin. They have politicians in their back pocket. They are searching for artifacts. They are gathering, as Keon said, the dead, killing innocent people, experimenting on them, turning them into skeletal armies. They're prepared to take over. So you walked into a hornet's nest, so to speak.
Hornet's nest.
Murder hornet's nest.
Well, let's see what the big boss has to say then.
Hornets are buzzy things. You know.
Ah,
They sting.
right.
They sting you if you get too close or you swat at them.
Or I should say, you've walked into a sturge nest.
Makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Think biting mushrooms. Mushrooms that bite.
So, like, are they crawling up to you?
No, bats.
Whirring.
Okay, bats.
Yes,
I get bats.
tiny bats.
Yeah,
When it comes to evil, necromancers have nothing on hornets.
Okay, I'll take your word on it.
All right, shall we go?
Yeah, and as you guys continue this hornet conversation, you basically slow down because you're in a queue, and you see ahead that guards are checking people, having conversations, even patting them down. You can see they're showing them bags and just basically checking people into Thumrin itself.
They're just general denizens? Sorry? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. You can roll a perception if you want.
Yeah, that's 9.
Yeah, looks like
It's
it.
general people.
General people. I mean, you see a lot of guards around are wearing the armor, which you now have equated with Thumrin. They don't seem like they're waiting in line. They're checking people, and there's one, not a larger dwarf male who is like basically interviewing each person, and it takes like 1 to 2 minutes for each person. You can see they're being led in. There's another dwarf nearby who's got a list, and they're writing things down. Again, the 2 braziers are right there. You can smell the fire, and whatever they're burning seems to like probably burns forever. And the smell and the heat is intense as you're all standing in line to go inside. And just looking over them, you can just see into this, looks like a cavern on the other side of this door. You see torches lining the sides down maybe 150 feet. Beautiful stoneworks and columns and all kinds of things you can barely make out because it's pretty bright out here and it's pretty dark in there. And about like 5 minutes later, you're about halfway now to the front, but a guard kind of, you spot, Ariset, you see this, actually most of you have pretty high perception, passive perception. Guard's starting to eye you and calling somebody else over, and you see him whispering. Finally, it gets to the big guy, and, hey, you lot, front and center, move it up. Make way, let them through. Guards! And the guards start to move in and starting to get close. The pikes are held kind of at the ready, but they're not in a overly threatening manner. You 5 then. Where are you from? Where are you going? And what are you doing here? Quick.
Gulda Craghorn.
Official business.
Where we're going.
Where are you coming
Mosul. Mosul.
Wait a moment.
Muscles.
Let me... Damn it, didn't I just say wait a moment? I can also throw you over the bridge.
Hey.
That's better. Hey! Hold. I think I send a messenger. Right. You 5 come inside with me. Everybody else, you wait here. We'll be back. The guards flank you as you are moved out of the crowd and kind of through the entrance inside. Your eyes take a moment to adjust as you look into the beauty and spectacle that is this main hall inside Thumrin. The ceilings are 100 probably feet up. This entire thing looks like it's just carved out of the solid rock of this mountain. There are torches lining each column all the way down. You can see passages splitting off. There's one to the left and the right immediately upon entering, and you can see they hold either barracks or reserve warriors to guard the main entrance. There are several that just kind of eye you for a moment. Past that on the left side, you see a lot of the people who had been cleared coming in, looking at a big wooden board there. There are all these notices posted over it, and they're kind of checking something, and Moving on, there are hallways further down, about close to the end, both on left and right side. But in the middle, you see a grand staircase that goes up a flight, stretches back past that pass wall into its own kind of rising corridor up, and you see some kind of almost circular chamber up above. It seems, like 50, 60 feet higher than the level you're at right now. It's obviously all designed to impress and intimidate anybody who's coming into this space. And
I asked the guard as we go, why all the stairs? I feel like we've been walking for stairs forever. Why all the stairs?
well, let me ask you this. If you're an army and you're marching to come take over this town, you gotta do all those stairs too, and we'll be waiting for you. No army has ever penetrated Thamrin.
I mean, I get it for like the entrance and the tiers, but like more stairs. More stairs. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm done. Yep.
As I said, it works. All right, and he pulls you over. I need your names. We had information that a certain group would be coming, and you match the description. So you said you're coming from Pelkey.
Mosul.
He gives you a shrewd look. Yeah.
Via Pelkey.
What are your names?
My name is Kian Hanalor, Lightbringer and High Paladin of the Church of Kyre of the Irisan Kingdom.
Welcome.
I just stay there.
He looks at you for a moment, kind of looks at the armor, looks at the big sword. On the rest of you.
Caliban. I'm from the deep.
Yeah. And does it take this long to come up with your names? What are your names? Now.
Angorika, Jagudar.
Yeah. Elves?
Seville Ranta, Edgeguard.
And Erset Favriel, guest of Seville Ranta.
Right, well, it was a rather last minute, but your names match up. Waiter out here. Somebody's going to be coming to fetch you and take you to Golda. Don't make trouble.
Do you know how long?
No.
Can I?
I don't.
Okay.
And he
pull
turns
out
and he walks away, and he goes back to inspecting those people.
All right. I pull out a pie, pull down the coal, and start eating one more mushroom pie.
Is that notice board nearby?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a little
Go have a little
nosy.
Little shoes.
How many of those pies did you take?
Also, are they still good?
Good enough for
Aren't they
me.
meat? Oh no, mushroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mushroom, they're fine, but how many did you take?
Like 5.
How many do you have left?
I got 2.
How much do you want the last one?
It depends. Is this bandit money I'm getting? Like, I don't want anyone to get hurt for these pies. These are good pies.
Well, then maybe you want to share them.
If I don't share, are you gonna shoot me?
No?
Like, you could,
Shoot you? What the hell are you talking about?
didn't you see what she did to the guy with the carriage?
I wasn't trying to shoot him. I was just trying to stop him.
You still shot at him.
At his wheel on his carriage. That's
Be
a
careful,
bit.
maybe she'll shoot at your pie.
Oh yeah, get rid of the pie, then no one gets any pie.
Rika, I would not shoot his pie. First of all, that would be a terrible thing to waste. And secondly, I don't think that's necessary. I'm sure, after all, I'm sure Caliban can spare a bite.
I could.
Caliban, could I have a bite, please?
Here.
Thank you. You just have to ask.
Keon, I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw it.
What?
Okay.
No, just text.
Caliban,
Hmm.
can I have a bite, please?
You can, but just know this. Like, it looks like the man we just saw that you shot his wheels out was trying to run from his life for whatever is going on here.
Actually, and I return. Erisset, turns out your instincts were right. He's wanted. He was
What?
wanted.
How do you know that?
It was on the board.
What do you mean?
He's wanted. The man. There's a wanted poster on the board.
Where?
You were right.
What do you
over
mean?
there.
Where?
The board I was looking at.
Yeah, it was
You were
a-
right.
You go over and look, and you see it says "Murder Wanted." Kalam Shekel, 1,000 gold pieces, wanted for deaths of 14 beings.
Damn.
And it's a crudely drawn picture, but very clearly the same guy.
Yep. That's him.
Al, can I have a bite?
Okay. I give her like half
Oh,
a slice left.
oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. They're my favorite. I love mushrooms so much. You have no idea.
We all know you've told us.
Erisset's like, the taste of being right.
This was hard for me to sit on.
I didn't know at all. I had no idea. You didn't tell me that.
I didn't accidentally
no.
tell you that in a different conversation.
Do you think he killed that body that we found then when we were in the rainstorm? That's what I thought. I thought maybe he was the killer. And that's why because we all had a bad feeling about him. And then I had a very strong instinct. And so I thought we should maybe catch him in case there was a clue about everything that's going on. But then I felt so terrible because I really didn't want to kill him. I felt really, really bad about that. And Rika, I appreciated your help. And then I don't think you meant to kill him either. And then I was doing everything I could to try to help him because I felt so bad. And then he made me feel bad. He really made me think I was a jerk.
Oh, you
This
know what's
doesn't
funny?
Liar.
You know what's really funny?
What?
Is you gave 100 gold and Caliban gave his mace.
My very first thought. Oh, I don't like helping bad people. I really don't.
This doesn't change the fact that even in those circumstances, now that we understand them, you shouldn't shoot first.
You should just run up and talk to him.
Well, you're right. I don't have it down yet. I'm not very good at being sneaky. It's not easy for me. I'm a terrible liar.
And
About
don't
a lot
lie.
of things, aren't you?
What?
And don't lie.
Did
Just
you
be
just say I'm
upfront.
bad at a lot of things, Rika?
No.
Well, you must know I am bad at a lot of things, but I'm good at a few things. So
Breaking wagons.
I did break his ankle. I mean, it only took one shot, but I really regret not retrieving those arrows.
Another thing you're good at, losing arrows.
Yeah. Well, Rika, at least you didn't, almost die the first time you faced a necromancer. Erisset's been facing necromancers for about 2 weeks now.
Well, now I don't even know what to think. I honestly don't. And, I will say one thing. All of you felt that there was something funny about that guy, but none of you did anything about it. All my life, do you know something? All my life, where I come from, people sense something could be done about something and do absolutely nothing about it. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than knowing something and doing nothing about it. I absolutely hate it.
What did we know?
I'm gonna blame somebody for making a mistake, and it's a lot easier to sit there doing nothing and then say, I told you so.
It's
Oh,
not
it's
even
true.
worth it.
No, Caliban, you don't know what's going on. You're just seeing the sun for the first time, and you don't know exactly what's happening with the necromancers and stuff.
He's
So,
allowed to have an opinion.
no, I'm just saying. I mean it in a.
He doesn't know what's going on. I think he saw.
That
No,
did
he
sound like
doesn't.
you're
He has
talking
not
down
faced
to
the
them.
necromancers. He's never seen a body skinned alive, the blood drained from the flesh used as rituals. He's never seen organs taken out, and he's never seen.
Well, you don't know what he's
necromancers
seen. Have you ever asked him?
No, but
I-
he was making many generalized opinions about me. So, hey, go on.
I
You know
was
what I
going
know.
to
It's in my
say-
life.
I was going
Well,
to
have you
say-
faced necromancers before? Have you faced this threat that's all.
No, but I've seen mushrooms eat a man in from the inside out.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying exactly what I'm saying. The
And
mom
I
has not
spit out my
seen-
mushroom pie when he says that. I'm like,
Listen to what I'm saying and just hear. He's never faced necromancers. He's never faced what's on the surface and what we're going to face. It's not personal. I'm just saying he doesn't know what he's getting into yet.
I think we've told him plenty.
Telling and being in
actually, all
is
three
two
of
different things.
you. No, Seville, while we have time, I have questions for these three.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know what we're about to get into when we finally get into this next conversation.
What would you like
Why
to know,
are you even-
Erisette?
Why are you still with us? I mean, you didn't like what I did and barely know us. And why are you here with us? I mean, I don't mean that I want you not to be. I just mean, why haven't you left us? Because there's some very serious things ahead. And you don't seem too worried about it, at least not to the point where you want to leave. Does that mean that you're people who want to help?
I think I've made that explicitly clear.
Clear.
my-
You've said virtually nothing since 3 days ago. No.
I've said exactly who I am. I've said exactly why I'm here. I said exactly why I was following you.
And we've
And I
all
said
fought
nothing
alongside
else.
you. What more can you ask for?
I'm not criticizing. I just. Why did you say you were following me? Or us?
Because I was charged by High Priestess Malara, who you met in Asley, who was concerned about your sudden disappearance. And then, when 3 members of your party were taken, I decided that it was my prerogative to protect you. To protect the remaining members because you are from the outside and have information that's really important to what's happening in Anacroli. And my oath that I took now 10 years ago is based around understanding why it is that the gods abandoned us. And already I am so much closer than I have ever been just by being in your presence. And so I will continue to follow you and protect you because you are very, very important to my oath, to my duty as the High Paladin of Kaya, and to the wider problems in Anacroli right now. I have said all of this, and I am restating myself. That is all. However, Rika, why are you here? I have no idea. You don't even seem particularly interested in what we're doing. Why would you risk your life? You have no buy-in.
You.
What's it to you? Because we are part of a group who is the best chance Anacroli has of defeating this great evil. That's what it is to me. And I need to know that you can be trusted.
I think I've proven that I can be trusted, and my reasons are my own.
Well, put it this way, Rika. We met you in the swamp to the south. You certainly are a powerful caster. It was the same swamp where we met the Necromancers. At times, you have worked against the party. You created a pact with a hag. You led us into an area where we were forced to face a great evil, that giant frog creature. At times, it has seemed as if you are derailing our quest. What's to say that you're not a necromancer spy yourself?
Keon, I don't know. Maybe you're just going to have to learn to trust me.
Well, no,
Take it
I
or
can't
leave it.
trust you.
All right then, leave.
No, don't leave. Please, don't leave.
No. So Rika, just, well, in an offering of trust, what did you promise that hag?
What?
You made a deal with the hag. What was it about?
I thought
To
you
kill
promised.
the creature.
Right.
No, what did she tell you? Why did you say you wanted to make a deal? None of us made a deal. We know better.
It's not important.
Well,
It is
very
important.
important, actually. If we're gonna go forward here, let's share something about ourselves or something that that does this. Caliban, why do you have your hand up?
What's a hag?
Oh,
Which she was very mean and very scary and very obnoxious, really.
This is just.
I'm sure she's much happier now.
So is this what you just call old women?
no, it's
Some do,
sort of
yes.
a caster gone afoul, and sometimes perhaps it's not her fault, but yeah, stepped over to the side of evil.
So wait, like, do you think Rika's a hag? Is this what's going on?
No, we're getting off topic here, so we'll get back to that, Caliban.
Okay.
We'll instruct you in the upper worlds here, but just we would like to know, Rika, perhaps for your own protection and ours, if you're going to interrogate Ariset and say that she could perhaps put all of us in danger by her activity, I think we should make sure that we're okay with each other going forward, because we're about to hit a second site after we visit
I'm aware.
Gulda here.
I've been
Yes.
with you.
So, why did you make the deal with the hag? What were you looking for?
I was looking to learn about my family. All right, is that enough for you?
You lost your family.
I'm not
It's a
talking about it
start.
right now.
Yes.
This is a really good time. We almost never have time to talk about anything. We're almost always
What are
facing.
you talking about? All we do is talk.
We always are facing armies and creatures. I'd really like to know.
And I'd really like you to shut up now.
No, well, I'm not going to. Because
right.
I do want to understand who I'm with and what's important to them. Because there's one thing that has served me well, at least when I've been a leader, which is to understand where people stand and make sure that their goals align.
Will
with-
you shut up? And I turn into a dog.
Well, all right then.
So she hasn't proved she's not a spy.
No.
Proof she's a what's this thing?
Just trot away. Try to find
what'd
some
she
other
turn into?
dogs.
I'll put my hand on Caliban's shoulder. It's like, we definitely need to educate you in the world above, as
Well,
I'm sure we'll need you in the world below.
Yeah, I read the book, but it's like this. There's too many things. They overlap. I don't understand anything.
Yes. and
She
Caliban-
turned into a dog, but she's kind of always been a bitch.
How long did it take you to come up with that one?
Oh, that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
You've just been waiting for the moment.
You only just turned into a dog.
He's like,
So let's. I think we should
come and bite.
figure out our differences after we meet from Gulda. But at least let's put on a show like we are a unified front,
Wait a minute, Seville.
so we don't embarrass ourselves in front
Hold
of
on,
a leader of the
you hear,
dwarven
"Hey!"
community.
Hey, beasts aren't allowed here. And you see several of the dwarves are going from the entrance, and their pikes are lowered and ready to strike Rika. They are coming up on you.
I
do you-
run and I grab her and I say, "Don't hurt my puppy. He's mine. Good girl."
Beasts aren't allowed. How did you get in past us?
She was in my cloak. She's very sweet. Would you like to touch her? What?
Get it out, or we're throwing it off the bridge. Now. Now.
She's just a puppy.
Now.
There's it.
There are no
I'll go into the-
exceptions.
I'll go into the puppy's mind, Rika. When Ariset turns around, just come back, please.
Well, at least let me say goodbye. And I turn around and I'm like, what?
And you see the pikes kind of go in, like they're now like getting a little bit more suspicious by this behavior. Hey, back up!
I
two
take
more
my moon
come.
choker. I take my moon choker and I put it around the puppy's neck, so it suddenly disappears.
Okay.
There, all gone.
I run in forward as far as I can, away from the guards.
Okay. You you just see their faces kind of casters in the perimeter, and yeah.
Students out of bed.
Erisette, as you say, it's fine. You see a pike comes right in at you with a 17. What's your AC?
16?
Yeah. So this pike shocks you with the speed in which it flies in for 8 points.
I'm actually 17. It has my AC is 17 now.
You're in half plate, right?
I'm what?
So,
You're in half plate. Half plate
Yeah,
is.
she has that
great.
white
I'm
half plate.
17
Yeah.
now.
great. 17 still hits. So 8 points of damage, of piercing damage, as this pike
17.1.
like scrapes off of your plate and goes right into your shoulder.
Ow!
More the casters in the help! And they're starting to circle. What are you doing? Are you rolling initiative?
I'm sorry. Look, but no, I didn't. It's just,
What are you doing?
I go up.
I'm not here.
I go up since like I'm part guard. It's all right. It's all right. I think it was a magic item she put on the
Yes.
dog. The dog's just loose. Guys. I'm a guard myself. I get it. It's tense up here, but you just have a loose dog
yes.
and
if
loose
you could
invisible
please
dog at
Find
worst.
it. Honestly, I do really want to get that dog back. So, could you please?
Rika, you
Maybe
run.
it'll get hungry eventually.
You run past a distinguished dwarf making his way up the hall towards this fiasco. He's got silver hair, just holds himself up, slightly taller than some of the other ones that you've seen. And he just raises a hand. It's fine, lads. Step back. They're invited guests, believe it or not. How wounded are you?
I'm not too wounded, except for my pride and my sense of hospitality.
Your sense of hospitality is going to go even more south if you don't call that druid back now and have her shape back to normal, or we're going to have issues now.
When you figure out how to tell her to do anything at all, please let me know.
I'll step forward and speak in Dwarven the phrase that places blame on the self, and I'll say in Dwarven, those who travel with fools is a bigger fool. And I'll lower myself in a bow and ask him what he wants me to do.
If you don't call her back, then we'll definitely slaughter her. On accident. Because
Do I hear all this?
yeah,
I
you're visible
completely
now.
understand. So
Wait, what?
Wait, actually, I said, is it how many minutes is it?
Oh, it's a pretty good time. Let me tell
It's
you right
actually-
now.
It's not 1
That
minute.
changes
actually.
things.
It's a
It's either 1 or 10 minutes. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
1d12 minutes. So,
Oh, is that? Oh, that's. God, I haven't.
or
looked it up.
until you. No, yeah, until you.
Okay, roll a d12.
Yeah, so one.
Me or her?
No, Erisette.
I guess her. Oh, me?
Yeah, because you put it on her and activated it.
Wow. All right. Let me find my d12. Here we go. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
How long
Right.
has it been?
after that retort, I will say out loud, Rika, return or be killed.
So am I still invisible?
Yeah, you're just under 3 minutes.
All right, so I quickly change back into a human and I sneak up to them and I remove Seville's hat while I'm taking off the necklace and put it on my head. What's up?
No, the dog's back.
Lovely.
I turn around and I take the hat back, and then mentally I say, dwarves should not be fooled around with. It's a custom, nothing else.
Come with me. And
Please.
as he starts leading you away
And I
towards
give her
those
a wink.
towards those stairs, I recommend not pulling that in front of Golda, or she'll end you on the spot. Understand? No matter who sent you.
I'd like to
Understood.
remind my companions to be respectful of their companions.
Is this a threat?
Maybe this wouldn't happen.
I think we're being threatened.
It's less of a threat and more just don't tell me what to do. And don't piss me off anymore.
Sounds like a threat.
If you don't want to be told what to do, you can't tell other people what to do either.
I'm walking ahead of the group.
I have an
Yeah.
idea. I want you all to be quiet. He makes his way up the stairs. As you continue on, leaving that main chamber behind you, you enter what is very clearly a throne room. It is a circular chamber with a raised kind of platform in the middle and a large stone throne. And there is a female dwarf sitting there. And there are a few other attendants around that she seems to be talking to, almost casually draped over this throne. And you get a quick look at her, and she's quite beautiful. She has no facial hair at all, even on the sides. She has her hair pulled into tight braids, and like a dark brown hair. She sees
Wait,
you
I have
coming.
a question,
Yep.
DM. What method has this dwarf used to remove her facial hair very effectively? Asking for a friend.
Dwarven magic, my dear. Dwarven magic.
Always looking for new techniques. Carry on.
So she spots you coming and she shoos away the rest, and she makes this motion, and behind you see these huge stone doors excuse me, stone doors start to close. They unfortunately don't make that wonderful stone grinding sound that I love to make all the time. They are silent until they meet, and then that sound echoing through the chamber. She takes an uncomfortably long beat, just there looking at each of you, eyes extremely shrewd. She's got a large battle axe leaning up on the edge of her throne. She also looks like she has a rapier and a few other daggers around her belt. She has dwarven armor that seems to be made of maybe silver, maybe a shiny silver, maybe something else. Hard to tell.
Is it shinier than my armor?
It's shinier,
Nothing is, Keon.
shinier than your armor. There's not a nick, a dent
Nothing.
on it.
Oh my gosh, you have
It
shine
is
envy.
really, really pretty. And she just sits back. Well, I'm disappointed. You're quite
just
the
met us.
You're quite the ragtag bunch, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, she steps up and makes her way closer to you, kind of eyeing each of you. Kaya, am I right?
That's the one.
Lightbringer.
So I am.
How's that working out for you? Not too well, right?
No, indeed.
Don't take it personally, son. They abandoned us all. She moves past. Now you look different. And Erisette, she stops in front of you. An elf, obviously. Where are you from?
The north.
My informants tell me otherwise. So, thank you for establishing how our relationship's going to be. I can lie as well and keep you in the dark. Seville Ranta, as an Edgeguard, I would hope better of you.
Then ask me a question and you'll get better of me.
I will. And a fire genasi.
Yes.
Quite rare. in these parts or any that I know.
Your point.
I like your attitude, actually. You got me where I am. But don't check it with me, miss. Got it? As of all, I might have a friend for you to meet in our wonderful city here. Being a druid, as you are. Unless you've got a phobia of dryads. Anyway, now, I can barely make out what you are here. Caliban?
Yep, that's me.
From the deep.
That is correct.
That's no problem. We know your kind. Your kind are
Sure.
welcome,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
though quite rare. But always good to see someone who likes being in the rock as much as we do. So, she turns, she goes back up to her throne, sits down. My initial assessment is that you're all in over your heads, and you're supposed to be saving the world, and we're all gonna die if we rely on you only. I'm
Sounds about right.
glad to see I've got the crux of it. So, as you know, as a good old Bill Nurse told you, we've got a bit of an alliance forming. Thamrin, the Erasum Kingdom, and Ystarim. You'd like them. They're elves in the north. Where you're from, right?
We probably look very similar.
No, you look different. So, I've been instructed to help you, and there are things that we can give you and things we can tell you. From what I know from my people, and bless Bildner, but he's a bit of an idiot. I think we have very little time to act before the Umruk has beaten us at this game. So, I've been told you've defeated one site.
Yes. Down in the swamps.
Right. And perhaps Fornuge, in some way, shape, or form, is actually back.
Perhaps.
That's right.
That is troubling, I will not lie.
Look just like the stories. Or at least how they're told. Flowing robes and so on.
Disturbing.
I have questions.
Yes?
You said this game, and you said alliance. Could you just do me a favor and tell me who you're allying against? I know it sounds like a dumb question, but I'm
Did
really
they just
good at asking
pick you up?
dumb question.
Or are you trying to check me out, I think?
I'm looking for clarity.
Well, lass, we are up against the Imrak, the Necromancers, and a certain element hiding in the east. Most troubling, I think, for Nuj, an evil god return aside, but the lands to the east, well, that's an own history, but if it's true there is an archmage pulling the strings, and nonetheless one responsible for the parting, then we are all in over our heads, perhaps.
So the element in the east would be the archmage that might be pulling the strings?
Yeah, that seems to be some information we've managed to gather between our alliance.
Why were the people running away from here? What are you doing to them?
We're not doing anything to them. We're preparing for war.
So why are they running?
Because they're scared and they don't want to face war here. Some do, some are all going back to where they're from.
Is that a precautionary measure?
This isn't school.
Or is there...
You don't need to raise your hand.
Well, I'm just trying to be very, very considerate.
We don't want anybody in the city who can't fight or doesn't want to be here. There'll be a nuisance at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a step forward.
Get that. The question, though, that's your team, and I guess our team. But who else is on the other team? Have you figured anything out about that? I'm asking out of keen curiosity.
I'm a bit confused, lassie. Did I not say we're against the Umrak, the Archmage? That's not enough for you.
No, I mean, who else is aligned with them? I think they've been turning cities, haven't they? I mean, we were in one where they seemed to get allies on top of just themselves. They were taking people and finding more allies. You see what I'm saying?
They had some allies in your foolish kingdom there, Edgeguard.
I knew it.
But King Dolian has finally cracked open his head and realized how dangerous they are and has banished them from the kingdom. So at least the kingdom is secured against them. The Isarim to the north, we to the west, and dear old Bilner to the south in his one city. Though he hears quite a lot from the swamps. So no, I don't know of any other cities they've either coerced or partnered with, but we are the main entities that exist on what remains of Anachrony. So I'm not as concerned about that as I am about other things. As I said, we've got enough to be getting on with necromancers and an archmage. There has been a mage of that level in these lands for thousands of years. And Fornuj has not been in these lands for thousands and thousands of years. But last time he made it, the world nearly ended. So as you can see, we're a bit concerned.
Take a step forward. Are you locking down the city in a precautionary manner, or have you received a credible threat?
We received the credible threat from you lot and Bildner, letting us know about it. That they successfully turned a site, that you fought some avatar of Fornuj. That is enough for us. Though, as many guards as we have here, and as many strong hearts and wills that we do, should an evil god come back full power, there is very little we can do here.
Well, I have something that might help you, because when we were traveling from Mosul, we ran into this canyon and we stumbled upon this Goblin Warband and something a little bigger than that. And they were looks like they traveled eastwards in. So I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of Goblin War parties swinging by, but there's just another element for you.
Well, I appreciate the heads up. It's not much of a surprise. They're always down in the valley. Interesting that they got something larger, but again, that's pretty common. They wouldn't be able to get anywhere near the bridge before they'd be cut down. Not a worry.
And Caliban,
Oi.
I don't mean to speak on your behalf, but perhaps you could tell Gilder about what happened in your settlement in the deep. Might be connected.
I'm still not really sure what happened. I mean, like, I come from the Crystal City in your tongue, and about 2 months ago, the city had this incident. There was a flash, and it felt like everything in the area crumbled around itself. Like, the temple I was guarding is collapsed and destroyed. The outer perimeter is mostly flooded, and then it just seems like everything that was in and around that was threatening the city just came in. But that was 2 months ago. I don't know about it. I've been running ever since.
That was the light. That couldn't be. Was it a whitish, almost purplish light?
I don't know. I was kind of standing right into it, just kind of blinded you. And it just, it's hard to describe after that. There was more.
Did it knock you down?
It knocked me through and inside out.
And now he turns purple. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Added that detail, small detail, maybe insignificant, but maybe not.
Well, now, that's curious. That almost sounds like The Departing, but that was 25 years back.
It was about 60 days in your land, I guess. It's been a while, but like not 25 years.
Perhaps
There have been
something
another
is
one.
happening in the deep that we, to
Maybe
this
they're-
point, don't know about.
Maybe they're doing experiments. Maybe they're trying to see if they can reverse the process.
That'd be weird because there's no one else in the deep that looks like anyone on the surface down where I'm from. We're
That's what I
pretty
mean.
far
Maybe-
down.
Maybe they're trying to do it somewhere where nobody else would notice.
We would notice. We're there.
Yeah, but it seems like you're pretty isolated. From what I can tell, everybody acts like they've barely ever seen anybody like you.
That's true, the Linu
Taliban.
don't make it to the surface because they are deep down.
Well, the Necromancers search for artifacts, crystals, magic items
No
of power
celestial
to...
items, to be exact.
Well, yes. Well, no, not exactly. In Isley, or Asley, depending on your pronunciation, they were looking for something of a skull head, something to increase their powers there, and I highly doubt that that was celestial, unless
No,
I'm mistaken.
It wasn't. Your king has told me about the skull of Tanathil,
Correct.
but we assume that they are trying to open portals, open gateways, which is what that skull purportedly could do.
Right. So,
Are you going to help us or not?
this,
Fiery inside and fiery outside.
this Gulda, what would you have us tell you, and how can we be more succinct here to further
I have all your
expedite this
information.
conversation?
I have some things for you lot, but I needed to kind of get the wind of it.
Can I add one thing?
Oh, go for it.
More talking.
Well, just I was lying before when I said I was from the north. I'm really more from, you could say, almost perpendicularly to the north. So it was a white lie of sorts, but I'm really from a.
I tell you what, before you say anything at all, just make sure you've got the actual truth, because that I'd be interested in. But any adjacent truth, I'm really not interested in, if you know what I mean. And she reaches out her hand and starts stroking the handle of her battle axe.
Oh no, there's no. I'm not. All I'm saying is, well, yeah, you're right. That was a.
Oh, I
I'm
know,
from
I know I'm right. Go ahead. From another.
I'm from another dimension, and I came because I've had horrible, haunting nightmares about a horrible evil lurking in a dimension far away from my kingdom, but powerful enough that at some point it could reach my own kingdom and destroy everything that I held dear. And as the leader of my kingdom, despite everybody else's wishes, I came here to find it at its source and destroy it.
An unlikely group standing up against the most powerful evil that Anachrony or even our world before had ever seen. Well, it's not the first time, so maybe it's possible. Follow me. She gets up and she heads to kind of the opposite area of the wall from where you entered from the doors. Just looks like standard stone wall. And she reaches out and you can see her manipulate a bit of the stone. Looked invisible until she touched it, and rotates, and the bit of the wall opens up and you see there's a lit hallway. So come on. And as you follow, I assume you're following. This is gonna be a problem.
Following.
Following.
Okay, Rika.
Yes.
Good. the door as you clear it slowly behind you, and it's like a 30-40 foot long hallway, and you see there's a door on the opposite end that is open, and it looks like it might be like almost a bedroom or something. I didn't want anybody else to hear from this point on. I won't lie, I don't have a lot of faith in you. You're not impressing me yet. So we're gonna hedge our bets. I'll do what I can for you, and we're gonna continue our own efforts. But what we need from this point going on are the communications. So she moves into her room, and you can see it is a very large chambers. There's a beautiful bed. There are weapons and armors, beautiful like carved wood and carved stone, kind of like furniture pieces. An area with pillows around a fire that is lit and roaring. She shuts the door behind you and she pulls out a little box. I'm getting a wee bit paranoid, so I didn't even want my aides to see this. And she hands out these little crystal discs to each of you. They're about the size of a gold coin. I don't know if anybody knows what these are, but they're sending crystals. So if you keep them on your person, you can all talk to each other in your mind. It uses a psionic power. You don't have to speak the words. And as long as you're on the same plane, they'll work. Now, the Alliance also has them. Doesn't mean we can hear you all the time, but if we need to communicate with you, we can. So this is my first gift to you. It also helps you be in communication with us, so we can coordinate our efforts. Now, Bildner told me there are 4 more sites. Which one are you going to next?
Most likely to the east.
All the way to the east. Now, Ranta, I wonder if you're an edge god. Maybe it makes sense you go to the most dangerous one. I think you'd be saving that one for last.
That's what I was going to say. So actually, great minds think alike. I was going to say that probably we shouldn't do that.
No, you shouldn't.
Suck up.
Do you even know the history of the East and what lies hidden?
I do.
You do?
I don't.
Do you even know?
I don't.
What do you think is out there?
Dragons.
Rumors of dragons. Child stories. Do you know about the uprising and about sealing the East? Do you know about the great chasm that goes down to the fiery lava pits of our world? No, I can see in your face you don't. There are more dangers to
Is
the east.
Nadris out there?
Aye. And there are dragons. In fact, there's a group, a coordinated group of dragons that we have not seen or heard from them from a very long time. I will tell you more later, and there are better historians here if you want the further information, but don't go there. What's your next target?
I go into Ariset's mind. That's how you get information. We're actually thinking about going to the site near Vorden. We've been close to it before, and we have allies in Vorden, but we're thinking about that site there.
Can I see your map? Billner said you've got a map of the locations.
Yes, of course. I go into Gulda's mind. Please forgive the intrusion, Dis. But I would like a private audience with you. I seek some counsel on a dilemma I have that cannot be shared with the group here.
I tell you what, everyone. It's getting on time for me to be having some food. You've got these stones. I might have another bit of thing to give you. But instead, I show you to some chambers you can have for the night. Or I should say for the day, because I think you should make your way out tonight under the cover of darkness. Depending on which site you're going to, we might be able to teleport you there. We do have wizards in the city.
That would be preferred.
You have alcohol in the city.
We're dwarves.
Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I needed.
Oh,
I'm ready.
forget. Linu don't know. Yeah, we have a wee bit. You think you'd be all right? Let me show you to someone who can show you to your quarters, and we'll keep this conversation going, but we're running out of time, and I don't like talking, I like action.
I'm with you on that.
I'll find you in a bit. And she kind of walks over to another door. This one's not hidden. Opens up and leads you down a long hallway where she opens up a final door, and there are guards and aides waiting. Show these people where they can rest up, get them a bit of food and drink, and keep them nearby for my call. Talk to you soon. And Seville, she lingers on you a moment as she looks away, door shuts, and we're gonna leave it there and go for a little overdue break. So thank you all to for those who have donated. I see we're already at $50. We're gonna keep this donation going. I think the last one was from our friends Family Fantasy RPG. Thank you, Colin. I'm very excited to do our giveaways for Family Fantasy RPG and Wildfire Minis. Let me see if we're gonna do it at the end. The giveaway word is kids. So enter the word kids one time into chat, and you'll be automatically entered to win not only some minis from Wildfire, but an adventure from our friends at Family Fantasy RPG. We'll be back in 10 minutes to continue the story. Thank you all. Be right back.
PAX.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. So before we jump right back into the story, I want to say we actually had to change the giveaway tonight. We're going to actually pull it in just a minute here because our producer, Ashley, who does all of that wonderful behind-the-scenes magic, won't be here at the end of the episode, and I have no idea how to do it. So I'll give you a minute to go ahead and enter it. If you haven't already, enter the word kids one time into chat, automatically be entered to win some minis from Wildfire Minis and an adventure from our friends at Family Fantasy RPG. We're super excited that they're supporting the stream, and we want to support them because they're friends and they create awesome stuff. So, kids, into the chat one time. And we will jump back into this adventure. So, Ashley, you let me know when we are good to pull that. And
while we wait, everyone can say hi to Pax.
Oh, look at that fluffer. Hello.
He's my son.
Oh.
PAX. Genevieve, what does PAX mean?
Peace.
Amen.
I thought it meant Pocky and his Xanax.
Pox roll.
PAX.
A pox beyond,
which is inscribed in the lawn of St. Francis's Cathedral in Assisi, Italy, which is unbelievable.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah.
Bit of a flex, but we'll allow it.
Yeah, whatever, Peter.
Hey, I'm just spreading the love. I'm giving weight
cool,
to
man.
the word. I'm
That's very
giving
cool.
weight to the word PAX.
All right. KP, whenever you're ready, go ahead and pull the name, and we'll see who won tonight. And if you don't win, please check these minis out and check the all the stuff that Family Fantasy RPG has. Play D&D with your kids. It's an awesome experience. They will surprise you. They will love it. It's way better than letting them go burn their brains on a computer game. I love computer games, but I love D&D more. And your kids will love it more. Guaranteed it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
CH.
Guess who won tonight?
Family, friends.
Me.
No, Family and Friends is sponsoring us. No, you're not eligible. It's our friend Marty McTry.
Hey, Marty!
Yes.
And he does play
Hooray!
D&D with his kids, so that's awesome. So,
That's
Marty,
amazing.
congratulations. Minis and an adventure coming your way. And Family Fantasy RPG and Wildfire Minis, thank you for supporting the show.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
So, jumping back into the story, I'm going to just let you know that you've kind of been shown down through these descending corridors, you start to get the feel of the complexity of this underground city. It's a lot more than just a few chambers carved out. It truly is an entire city. You see large thoroughfares. There are a lot of beings down here. And you're shown not too far away from Gulda's, there's kind of a diplomatic area where they have really nice estate rooms. They light the fires for you. You've got some beds if you want to rest, and they ask if you'd like any food to be brought down, food and ale. And that is super loud, sorry. It's like, wow, that's getting there. Will there be anything else? Can I get you some food and some drink?
All of the above, please. Yes.
Yes, and yes. Also, I pull out the pony keg that I found at the bloodworm, the Blurm site. It's like, do you know who I could talk to about identifying this material here?
A pony keg?
A pony keg. It's a small keg. It's a small keg.
It's awesome.
Well, that depends on the contents. What do you have in there?
I pull out and I found the small crushed black powder, kind of not powder, but like rocks. What is this?
I think I have an idea. I'll get someone.
Thank you.
It's cacahuates.
He looks back at his shoulder like, what they? And scrambles off. And so you have a moment as you're waiting. If you want to do anything, otherwise I can jump ahead and tell you what happens. Something caught in my eye.
While we're waiting, I'll play with that ring I found and see if I can find anything else about it. Just using the time in between to examine it.
Roll an investigation check for it.
Investigation. 7. It's a ring.
It's definitely a ring. It looks like there might be something engraved on the inside, but you just can't like catch the light down here. It's not bright enough to see, and it looks like it's very finely scratched. Maybe they're just scratches, but you can't quite tell.
Is there a brazier?
No, but there's a fireplace, a hearth.
I mage hand and put it in the fire, see if I can find anything off. See if it.
Oh yeah.
Whatever would give you that.
Secret only fire can tell.
It's quite cool. Yeah, so you mage hand it out of the fire. You see, well, how long are you gonna leave it in there?
I'll leave it in for like a few minutes to get it warm.
Yeah.
Asked me, but whatever.
Yeah, you see it, slowly
Human fire.
start to glow as the silver metal. Let's see, 2 minutes. Okay. You pull it out and it very quickly starts to cool. You see the edges start to blacken, and it looks a bit like tarnished silver now. You don't see any fiery elvish script on there of the dark speech, but now that it's fully cooled, it's a bit blackened from the process. If you'd like to
press the digitate it clean.
Okay, yeah, you managed to remove all the soot from it. Roll another investigation check.
It's 11. It's a shiny ring.
Yeah, you just can't seem to quite, there's definitely a 4. You see a 4 on there, the number 4, and maybe there's more, but it's really hard to tell, and maybe some of it got damaged with the melting.
Yeah. All right. Throw it back in the pack.
DM.
Yep.
So I've kind of forgotten how much downtime do we have right now?
Well, you don't really know. She said you're gonna be shown to these quarters, and she'll send for you. They'll bring you some.
But we have the crystals, right?
Yeah, you do.
Can I try and hold the crystal and think to Caliban?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, what?
You all hear it.
How does it work? Oh wait, oh no wait. Oh, so that all actually came through the.
You said it in your mind, or you say it out loud?
I said it in my mind.
Yeah,
but I
they,
thought you.
but they
Will
still
all of us hear it?
They still all hear it, unless anybody's
Whoa.
put their coin down.
Coin or
Oh.
crystal?
Kian, what?
It's a crystal.
Kian, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go and explore the archives and see if I can learn anything about the evil we're facing. Very quickly, can someone please call me using this crystal device if Gilda sends for us?
Sure. You want to be told when dinner's here?
Yeah, go on.
And then I'll head off and I'll go and ask around and find out where these archives and this library or whatever she mentioned was.
Yeah, sure. So it takes you some time. You find somebody who kind of directs you, and you're a bit down, kind of in the depths of Thamarin now. You lose your way a couple times, but you get redirected, actually back up to the main hall where you came in, and coming out the kind of archway on the far right side. You go right across the hall, seeing the steps that you took up to meet Gulda for the first time, but you pass right by them and you go into the archway on the far side of the hall. And you go about 40 feet, and there is a large, beautiful, ornate carved archway with dark wood doors here. No symbols, nothing. But it's where you were told to go. So you open it up and you see a rectangular room that's about 60 feet deep and about 100 feet long. And you're surprised because you expected to see stacks of books, but instead you see 4 almost like slots in the floor. Each one is about 40-45 feet long and about 10 feet wide. And there you see against the walls are all these little desks, and some have books on them and some have people sitting there. You see flickering candles and lamps as people are reading, and looking at the nearest kind of this slot, this trench, you hear this kind of grinding noise, and the top of this dwarf's head appears as he's sitting on this little seat, rises up, and he's like and he steps out of it. Yeah. What can I help you find today?
Well, I'm here on official business, and I don't have much time. I need to learn very quickly about a few key topics. I'm looking to learn about the god Fornuge. If you have anything with the name Imruk. And I pause for a moment. On a slight tangent, any critical perspectives on the Erasun Kingdom?
What precisely? That's a bit broad.
Well, about the information restrictions.
Oh.
Okay.
Right. Nothing on Imruk. I've already been asked to search. Couldn't find anything.
Okay.
Fornuge. That's no problem. Let's start with that one. And goes over to the third slot and pulls this lever up from the floor, and you hear this kind of as the seat rises up, and he sits down. Be right back. And he has these levers on the sides of his seat, and you see his head just drops down and then moves. You see just a bit of the top right now, and it moves over to the side, to the left, and then disappears. And if you walk up and look down, you see that walking past these slots, it's kind of the reverse book stacks. Instead, it looks like it goes down maybe 100 feet, just lined. Each side of these spaces are just lined with books all the way down. And there's this clever kind of mechanical chair that moves up and down and sideways to retrieve books and bring them back up to the top. And you watch as he kind of lowers down, and he's going down to a section, and he stops and he starts pulling out books and looking, and he puts 1, 2 books on his lap, and he starts.
Okay, well, here you go. I know you said you don't have much time. This is the definitive work on Fornuge and his first uprising. Let me see, I think it's about 3,800 years ago.
So if you have time, unfortunately I'm a very slow reader. Could you help me move through this text at speed?
Come over here. I've actually scanned it already for someone, so I can show you the pertinent info.
And he takes you over to one of the tables, and he puts down these big heavy books and cracks open the cover.
So we've got books on the whole timeline of Korinar, and specifically Anacroli if you need it, but of the world itself about 3,800 years ago. And you see him, he's... Okay, here we go. The Forlorn Age. So, there's not much known about what brought him into the world at that time, but we do know that most of the world was destroyed after he appeared. The remaining survivors formed a group, came together. A small band, actually, and they harnessed... it doesn't really say, and he's flipping pages as he's talking. Well, all the power of the land, I don't know what that means. And combining it with their self-sacrifice, they banished the god away. They not only died, but it's suspected that their souls were obliterated in the process. They were known as Valorian's Hope. And this is interesting. And he moves that book aside and he opens up. There's some evidence that a side effect of that achievement was that interplanar travel became easier from that point on. Something about the barrier weakening. And this, of course, led to the foundation of several societies that started populating Korinar back, quite some time ago. And there's one more thing. Hold on, where was it? It was a weird footnote that somebody wrote in. Oh, here it is. Here, and he spins the book so you can see it. Fornuge seems to have come from a plane of existence that is said to be pure evil, where it's born, where evil itself is born. The gods themselves were ill-prepared for his power and his cunning, and he consumed 2 less powerful deities and manipulated their powers when he came back. This caused the remaining gods to withdraw to a safe distance. But they did their best from that distance to guide. And that's all it says. I tell you, anything that drives off the rest of the gods and scares them, scares me. Now, what else did you want to know?
Sorry, what were the people called? The Valorians Hope. I'll sort of lean over the book and take out a piece of parchment and sort of slowly itch, going back towards it, taking maybe longer than I should.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's such good information. Thank you so much.
Aye, that's what we're here for.
Could you humor me with that one more thing about Erasun?
That's gonna be a hard one, but let me see what I can find.
Maybe
And
like
you
an
go-
essay.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to say, lad?
Is it maybe like an essay, or surely someone said something about it?
Well, we don't have just manuscripts. We have notes. We have letters. We have lots of information here. I think this is going to be in the fourth one. You best wait here. I'll be back. And you watch him kind of scramble off, and once again zoop, lower down into the fourth area, and take some good 15, almost 20 minutes before he returns. And he's got a bit of a smile on his face as he makes his way waddling back to you. Now, I like a challenge, and this was a rough one. I found only one wee scrap of something that came to us fairly recently. I went back and looked for some kind of historic reason, but it seems that it wasn't that long ago that this rule in the kingdom, and by not long ago, maybe almost 100 years ago, that this rule started. But this is it. This is all I could find. And he spins around a letter, and you quickly kind of glance through it, and it seems
Slowly
that it's
glance through it.
slowly glance through it. It seems that it's written by somebody who's not named, who is infiltrating the kingdom. And the gist of the letter is it seems to be something to prevent arcane casters from being created.
Huh.
Now, this is not knowledge, this is speculation, but maybe it'll put you in the right direction. I'm afraid that's all I've got.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Come back anytime. Rushed
Hey,
or not, it's my pleasure to help out.
Have you ever heard of Kandorum Kegmal?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Who's that?
A merchant here, I believe, of fairly prominent status. I don't really go in for that sort of thing, but
Is
You
he,
could- you
would
could
he be
check
in
the-
the city?
yeah, you can check the market area. Down about 6
Good to know.
floors.
Good to know.
And I'll take out 2 gold coins and I'll pop them on the.
Just to thank you for your time.
I thank you. And he turns and he waddles off again.
And I'll make my way back.
Okay.
Massive lore dump, guys.
And as Keon makes his way back, actually, as Keon shortly left, another attendant popped in. Excuse me, Seville, Rinta? I've been sent for you.
That's my. Yes.
Someone from your kingdom, apparently, if you'll follow me.
Of course.
And leads you out. This seems to be an older dwarven woman, voice scratchy and failing. Surprisingly leads you right back to Gulda's chamber. And opens the door and backs out and shuts it behind you. All right, Seville. I do believe that you've got some company coming from your kingdom. She'll be here soon. But I use that as a bit of a ruse. What do you got for me that you can't say in front of your trusted party?
Well, it's a matter of respect for my leadership, and which concerns the party member coming to talk to me now. This tri-council between King Dolian, yourself, and the Easter Rim, apparently the head of the Edgeguard has not been informed of this triumvirate. And I seek your counsel, since you most likely have been in contact with King Dolian more than myself, as I'm just a low-level edge guard. I want to know who to trust if I'm sticking it out there.
So
I
let
need
me
counsel.
let me get this right. You're coming to me because your king is not imparting something to your superior in your military organization, and you want someone outside of your kingdom to advise you on what you should do.
It's odd.
No,
but
it's fucked.
not if you're an not if you're an edge guard. Many people think the edge are such a straight and narrow, follow by the book organization, but that's not how we're trained.
No,
We're
I'll tell
trained
you
to
that
assess
nobody
situations.
who knows thinks that about you. In
Well,
fact,
good, they're
most
right.
of us think dark things about you operating on the edge of your empire, pulling strings, but we all do it. So my question is, you're worried about this Lorarina. She's known to
I'm
us.
not. Right.
And she is
Are
the
you
one who-
aware?
Oh, I know a lot. I know she brought the Necromancers into that kingdom of yours. And
Aye.
they attacked the king and the queen.
Aye.
She's either in league with them, or she's an idiot, or she's bold as brass. I don't know which. It's gotta be one of those. I don't know her.
My intuition says I'm not going to tell her about Dolian's involvement in this triumvirate here. And I just wanted to get your counsel this.
Well, I think she has been read in, as they say. Because I was contacted through King Dolian that she was on her way. So, if I know, he knows, she knows. At least to some degree, maybe keep your cards close to your chest and find out what she knows.
Well, when I contacted her, which I do from time to time, she was surprised that there was such an alliance taking place, which shows me that King Dolian did not include her. But you're saying that King Dolian now admits and knows that she's coming here.
As of this morning, on the message I received. So, yeah. But listen, Seville,
Yes.
I won't lie to you. I had higher hopes for all of you, and now I'm concerned. I see, well, I didn't see, but I heard one of your lot turning into a dog, being uncooperative. The rest of you infighting. You got a Linu who doesn't seem like he's there from the beginning. I just wonder what is going on with your party. I'm trying to decide if you are the adventurers that are going to stop this threat, or if I need to put my efforts and my considerable money and gear into another group. And I'm starting to think that's the smarter play right now.
Well, it's a fair observation, and I wouldn't blame you if you did. Ariset has been with me, so I can vouch for her. Keon is a member of the Arasun Kingdom and a devoted... Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, I've been waiting for it.
I have no idea. We're picking up people as we go. We had a group with us before that shattered, was broken apart. It hasn't been easy finding devoted people to the cause because most people don't even know what the Necromancers are up to. So I can't blame Rika, and that's the one who turned into a dog. And certainly I can't blame Caliban for being questioning, as he's displaced and a new member to this company. We've had one battle together as a group. It was efficient and highly destructive. and it was quite easy, which bodes well for our combat skills. As far as our interpersonal skills are concerned, I would say that is going to take time because we really don't know each other. I think, of course, I trust Erisette, and Keon is from Carthan, which I am, so his order, my order, we could understand each other. Caliban, I feel for, I don't know, but the man is displaced and, in my mind, in need of some company, so I can't judge him too harshly on what he's going through at the moment. Rika, still a mystery to me, but she has fought hard and shown some real concern to her compatriots. So, to be short and honest, it's the best we have, and that's all we're going for now. But you have me, and I'm capable, I'm determined, I'm trained, and I will do this until I die.
Well, listen here, Seville. I mean, there's an old adage that one stick is easily broken, but you hold a group of sticks together and it's strong. You alone cannot do anything against this threat. It's nothing against you, just one person against a god, against the Imrok. They're too many and too powerful, and they're much better organized than you lot.
Aye.
And they're faster. I wouldn't even talk to you if you hadn't already accomplished something and known more than we did. For the Fornuge piece was missing from our intelligence. And you fought Fornuge, and you took back one of those sites, from what I hear. And that's why I'm putting continued trust in you. But
well,
it'll
I would
be at
say
arm's length, and I will be looking for others. No offense.
that would be smart. No, none taken. We've already had our first party decimated, so I don't know if we'll be staring at the same faces at the end of this all, but I know together we can get it done.
And I'm serious about this. Going up against Fornuge, the actual Fornuge, I hope you all know what you're up against. I mean, you have a paladin in your midst that has no deitic power. I purposely pushed his buttons to see what he'd do, but he's not very effective. And
he's distraught as far as I'm concerned, as he is, there's a hole in him.
There's a waywardness to all of you. I won't lie. Even you. I can see it. You're not operating, and nor have you operated from what I gather. Because I know that lasses from outside the storm. And I know that you failed orders. My people are really good. I've got some in Navir when you arrived. But they're also effective. And I think there's something else on your side. And it might be why that boy is staying with you. Because maybe the gods are actually here in some remote way, like they were one time. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you, you need to go to one of the close sites. Either the one in the middle of an acroly, or you go to the one that's supposedly out in the water. We can provide some water breathing scrolls or potions to help, but I think you need to move. I think you need to move fast. You need to gather more information. You need to report back to us, because we need to know how far along the Imrok are. They have more, and I have a feeling that they've spread out to each of these sites, so you might already be behind.
Well, Disgulda, my inclination is to go into the center, get it out of the way, and then go to the coast. If you say you could provide us with coastal assistance, then I'll yield to your counsel. So you inform me what
Either
you wish
one.
to happen.
Either one would be fine. You're equidistant
Well,
from them. So pick one and
good.
make it happen.
It's Vorden then. We can make our way to Merrick. I have contacts in Vorden, which we can establish allies, some monetary connections, and that may help you in a great deal because I know the leader of the city of Coin. I do have to patch up a relationship from our past crew, but I can do that.
Very well. I
And
just cannot.
Disgulda,
Aye.
I'm not wayward. My superior made that mistake, and I've gathered more intelligence than anyone before. I'm not wayward. I will get the job done, and I will be standing at the end of it all.
So you've
And
got a spine.
I'll pull out my rapier.
Mm-hmm.
This was given to me by the goddess Velka.
And you.
They are piercing back. They are fighting back, and I intend to make a great hole so they can get to our clerics and get to our paladins. And this I promise.
And she takes her hand out and ever so gently runs her fingers across the blade. May I?
Of course.
She takes it. She spins it around. Hands it back to you. That is some of the best proof you've ever given me. Rest up, head out tonight. We'll be in contact. And I'll see what else I can gather up for you.
I thank you, Disgulda.
You're welcome. If you really are the party to stop this, we're all counting on you.
I hope so.
All right, fuck off. I need to get some food and ale. This is all too much for me. You can see yourself out.
I sure will. All right, I'll return to the party.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so while they've been gone,
Yeah.
I've struck up with the people remaining, and I've said, Caliban, you know, you're not off the hook. We gotta
What?
interrupt you.
I'm off the hook. You're off the hook. Who's off the hook? Who's what hook are we talking about?
I mean, we all have had to share a little bit more than we might be comfortable sharing, and I know it really provoked you, Rika, but we didn't even get to you, Caliban.
About what?
What do you love?
Not dying.
That's it?
Preferably. I mean, the last several weeks, months have been just me in near-death situations. So yeah, not dying's pretty nice. I love that. Like drinking. Drinking's always good.
Do you have any family? Do you have anybody that you love?
I have a brother.
Is he back underneath where you were?
I don't know. And I pour out a pony keg full of the dark stuff and start sifting through it, waiting for the other guy to come through.
Okay. It doesn't take long before there's another knock at the door, and there's a really muscular dwarf here, and yeah, he's pretty badass. Even to the point where like he's like no sleeves, so you know his guns are popping, and
God.
yeah, he's
Twinkling in the firelight.
he's a total dwarven bro. Somebody requiring some information about some stone.
Yeah, here. I point to the pile of the crushed rock. You know what this is?
Do you know how
Found
close
it.
you're sitting to the fire?
It's a little ways away.
Not far enough. How about you gather that up and not let it heat up?
Okay, fine. And I start scooping it back and sifting it back in. And press the digitate as much that's of the leftovers back into it. Seal it. So what is it?
Well, I call it bright powder. You put it in some fire. It burns quickly. You contain it in
flash?
something, and you can make a bit of a boom, if you know what I mean.
Can I have that?
Hold on.
This is dangerous
So-
stuff you're just walking around with. Where did you get it?
I found it on the side of the road. I mean, well, I found it at this camp, and the previous owner was attacked by a giant red worm that dragged him out and had to bury him. Didn't bury the animal, but he's dead. So we found this, and this seemed to be somewhat of importance, so I want to see what it was used for. Actually, since you still know stone, hopefully you know metal, I pull out the ring. Can you tell me what this is? I mean, like, it seemed to heat up, but I think it was melting a little bit. I feel like metal doesn't melt in like a fireplace. I mean, the fire there is not as much as like magma.
Oh,
I mean-
look who knows so much. Well, let me have a look. And different metals melt at different temperatures. So, and you put this in the fire, did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's metal. Metal shouldn't just fall apart in a fire.
This is a vault ring. It's
A what?
actually made to melt in fire.
Huh.
So in the inside is a number, and all you need is this ring to get access to that vault, if you can make out the number. And it looks like you've ruined a bit of this one. You're missing a couple.
Yeah, well, didn't know.
Well, the interesting thing is, the possession of the ring is the law. So, if you've got the ring, it's your stuff.
I don't even know which vault it goes to.
Well, that's right, because you put the ring in the fire instead of just looking at it under a proper light, didn't you?
I was trying to get light from the fire. I didn't know it was gonna melt right then.
Well, you'd have to try to guess. It looks like I can get a 402. There should be one there, but there's not. And that could be a 1, or it could have been an H, or it could have been a 6. And then a 3, and then a 1 or an L. Yeah. If you could figure that out, though, and match that up, then whatever's in there is yours. Some of those vaults hold fortunes that would pay for many generations of families.
Well, what number actually tells you where it is, if I can dig it out?
Or you just head to the vault and you would hand it to the vault keeper, and then they would take you to the vault.
I'll see if I can try and put some stuff back together and see what I can find.
Great. Hopefully it was a worthless vault. Just nothing but dead rats.
Oh,
Since you've
never get
melted
enough
it.
well, never get enough dead rats. I mean, why would you make a ring that's supposed to melt?
For security. Again, possession of that ring's all it takes. If you can toss it in a nearby fire, or if you've got some magic about you and melt it, then nobody can have access to it. And if you've remembered it in your brain, well, you can write it down again, can't you? Make another one.
Well, all right. Let's see what I can think of. Thank you. I appreciate that. But do you think if you could put this, I look at the pony keg. Do you think the safest way to like get rid of this is through, well, not get rid of it, to use it, would be in like cloth bags, or because you need to throw it into fire, right? The bang
No.
stuff, the powder.
It's not the cloth bag would be wrong. You gotta contain it. It's gotta fight against the walls and build up that energy. So it
So put it
explodes
under-
in front of you like that.
Right. Put it under pressure. Huh.
Aye.
I'll think of something. This seems useful.
Be careful with that though. Especially in a keg. That's enough pressure.
All right. I
In
put
fact-
it back into the.
He bends down, he looks at it. This is a really well-made firkin. In fact, I think this was made for that purpose. You drop this in a fire, you take down a building. A good-sized building.
Oh, you, my new friend. He holds up the keg. You will be stuff. You will be the stuff of dreams. Ooh, okay. I stuff it back into the bag of holding and like, thank you. I appreciate that. This will be helpful somewhere down the road. I don't know where, but yes, it will.
Great. I'm gonna have to tell them that you've got that, and they might come for it. But it may be okay with it. You're in these quarters, they're probably okay with it. Just giving you a warning.
We'll leave it the end of the night or the beginning of the night or sometime this night. We'll take out of the building.
It's fine. It's fine. At least I say it's fine, but it's not up to me. Be careful when he turns and he walks out, doing a little stretch and popping the bicep as he goes. Just kidding. He doesn't do that. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I attempt to do mending on the ring and see what happens?
You can attempt.
I attempt it.
Oh sure, I'll let her do it.
That's a really good question. I don't normally do this, but I actually need to look at the specifics of that spell.
Yeah, I'm not sure if like it's not really specific about.
Magic. Yeah.
Well, it's not the magic because the ring itself. We're just looking for the numbers. We don't need to restore magic to it. We just need to
Get to original form.
Yeah.
Whether it like
but I don't think so. Yeah, it's more like think of it like a magic glue, sort of, like things that are broken,
Okay.
ripped, it can make it come back together.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think
Worth a
that's gonna-
shot.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Good thinking, but
good thinking. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's very smart, but yeah, I'm afraid it doesn't work.
Unmelt.
Smart. Smart.
You need to go back in time, mending spell.
Yes, it's that one. Oh man.
Okay, so by this time, food's been brought to you, drinks been brought to you. What are you guys doing? Are you just gonna rest up and go?
I'll share some information. So I learned a few things at the archives. Fornuge was once brought to the material plane some 3,800 years ago. But he has been banished. He or they or... Fornuge has been banished once before by a group called Valorian's Hope. We don't know exactly how it was that they did it, but it's something that we can investigate further. Maybe there is some information to be found, but it's important to know that however they did it, it seemed to cost them their immortal soul, the people who banished Fornuge.
Wow. It's not great.
Yes.
Put it on the table.
So if you die, your soul's destroyed. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you
It's,
what's this Valorian's Hope? Is just the group? Just some
They were-
people? What's a
Yeah.
Valorian?
I don't know what a Valorian is. Has anyone heard of a Valorian?
Can I do a history check, DM?
You
Yeah,
don't know
does
it.
this have something to... It's nothing to be... Do I know what it is?
You can roll a history check.
Is there something with that coin?
Seville, no. Seville and Keon, I think, would be the only two to roll history on that.
No.
Yeah,
8.
yeah,
16.
no. No, so we're talking
And
ancient
nah.
history. 3,000 years ago. Wasn't even
And
part of your curriculum.
The sort of it was almost pre-antiquity. It was after this, it seems, that many of the civilizations we know were formed, and a lot of things happened. Apparently, interplanar travel became easier as a result. And Harris said, "You say you're from another dimension. Maybe it's why you were able to come here in the first place."
Must be. But I'll tell you something else. They think they destroyed him and he's back. Whatever method they used wasn't very effective, was it? Maybe we have a way of using some other way, and maybe it won't cost our immortal souls. Maybe
It'll
they...
cost more than that.
Always the optimist, right, Rika?
We should be clear on the goal. I don't know if it is within our power to destroy a god, but perhaps we can banish it.
God's not back yet.
It's not
That's
back
what
yet.
the sights are for. There's hope. And look around you, because every set of eyes you see possesses that hope, unless they don't want to. We are the hand of hope. And we've shut down one sight, and we can do another. In fact, Ariset and I have been close to the second sight. Look we may be bickering, picking on each other, and we don't know each other well, and I understand that. All come from different walks of life. But when combat ensues, and when the greater good is at stake, I don't have a doubt in me mind that we won't get it done. So who gives a shite if we like each other right now? That can come in time. All we need to know is when evil comes up and tries to snatch you and drag you down into the shadow, are you going to let it? And are you going to let the person next to you go? I say, not a chance. So right now we are 1-0, and until someone proves otherwise, we are undefeated. So let's carry that chip on our shoulder and kick some ass.
Does that mean you're going to stop interrogating everybody? All of you?
No, not at all.
No, in
What-
fact, now that I have this chip, I'm going to constantly ask until you tell me what I'm wondering. No, I'm only kidding. I'll try to be respectful, Rika. But hey, it's really cool. We've got chips. We can mind talk now, just like those two.
I look at Caliban and I just kind of shake my head and go into his mind. Oh, we're in trouble, buddy. We are in trouble.
It's going to be very loud. Oh, I found out I have a bomb.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that.
Oh, we're doing it. Never mind. I pull out the keg and it's like, the dwarf told me that this is brake powder and this is a nice pressurized thing. We could destroy a building with it if you ever need, a nice
Oh,
find.
so that's not a drinking keg.
No, this is a keg full of boom.
That's a boom keg. Oh, well, that's...
Maybe that'll be
Okay.
really handy at the very end to go to the east.
Well, I've never seen a boom keg go off, but I'm definitely excited to see such a thing. So
They made it sound like it was a really big deal. I mean, you should have seen the guy's face when he was telling Caliban all about it. It seemed special. Wouldn't you say, Caliban?
Are we still doing this psychically through just me and
Wait, but we can all hear each other through the crystals.
we also have 2 different mind links that we can do with each other.
But I don't think the crystals are working yet. No.
I'm
I
talking
wouldn't
out
say-
loud.
They
I don't
are.
like
We
it.
already used them.
It's
Right?
fine.
Yeah, you already used them. As long as you're
Yeah,
holding
it's-
them and you think, you can hear each other.
This is very
I wasn't
complicated.
using-
Yeah,
I
it's a
wasn't
lot.
using mine. I was just using my lips.
Yeah, but like, so should it come to a point where you need to devastate a whole building and you don't even want to go into it, just let me know. We'll pull this out, and we just need enough fire to set it off.
I've got you.
Well,
Sounds
I
good to
think
me.
we have that.
Ooh. That's encouraging.
Hey, who's got the note we found in that hollow?
The what?
The from Candorum Keg Miles.
Oh.
Oh,
He-
did anybody
just
ask
last night.
about that name?
Yeah, I did. It turns out he's a prominent merchant in town. He's probably in here at the moment, in Thermarin.
Well, I don't
think the
see why
notes-
we shouldn't go visit that man.
Yeah, why not?
I know.
Hold on, like down some of the wine that's still left over. Yeah, let's go take a drink. Let's go take a walk. We're gonna be kicked out tonight anyway, so might as well get a little bit of the sights before we go.
Just before we do, I think we should talk about the fact that you all heard that voice last night, right?
From the clouds? Yeah,
From the clouds.
the clouds talk up here, right? I just assumed.
Yeah.
The clouds don't talk.
You sure the clouds don't talk? I mean, like the birds are trying to eat you. It feels like this is normal.
It's definitely the first time I've heard clouds talk. And
Yeah.
that seemed like some kind of magic, right? Some kind of wizardry.
I'm kind of hoping that wasn't the Archmage Drebin that we've been hearing about, because I would really hate to have him on our case so early in the game. That would be not a good thing, but yeah, I hear you, Keon. That's
Have you
a
heard of
concern.
such magic before? Long distance? I've never heard of that.
No.
So we can hope that maybe it's some kind of regional pest, or maybe it's something worse, I guess.
I think we should all, as we discovered with that gentleman in the cart, I think we should all be concerned about anyone we come across. However, there's a way to go about it, but I think everyone's instinct is correct. Not to be jumpy, but I think we should be concerned and watch one another's back. But let's keep our eyes and ears open. But there's certainly a way to do things. We don't want to endanger one another, but good instincts on it. Good instincts on it.
There's one good thing about this connection now. You know, the power of many is much more than the power of one. So if we work together, then maybe if we really, 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 really unify our talents, maybe we'll be almost as powerful as one Fornouge or one Drevin. I mean, you're pretty capable, and Seville, each of you seems like you've got some special thing going on, and maybe there's a, you know, like a 1 + 1 = 3 sort of thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Set, I do.
Special
And
here.
I think I'm gonna. Perhaps we can do a little quick bonding here, and I think I'll start. Why don't we?
Everybody,
What?
I mean,
I
you know,
don't
the
want to
last
do
time we
bonding.
did that,
What is this? This is
the
a
last time
terrible
we
idea.
did that, I don't know. I mean, I think we need practice before we do it in front of anybody else.
For
I'll
that,
go first then. I'll do
For that.
one
Wait, is
quick
that
thing.
not what
Yes,
you
go ahead.
talked
Go ahead.
about?
DM, what time is it for the day?
So at this point, let's see, we're 10. I think you're probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, if we're gonna do this, let's do this quick because we gotta leave by nightfall, right?
Right.
That just leaves us a few hours to run around the city, do a quick check, and leave.
Right. Well, I'll do something really quick. Just say something you admire about another.
Really?
I'm gonna try it, Rika. It's bonding. It may be the difference between us going, do you guys want to save Rika? Nah.
Then don't.
Yeah, I think we should save Rika. So
Don't
I'll
need
say
your
something. Oh, you do? Because I already saved you once.
And I saved you many times over.
Really? I don't know. But anyways, listen, I'll say something first about our newly acquired gentleman here, Caliban. In that one fight, I noticed how smart you are and how cunning and clever you are with your tactics. So I'm looking forward to learning from you, my friend, because I admire what you did.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, I am kind of magnificent. I know this. It's really a humbling thing that I know it that well. But yeah, I appreciate that. I'll say something nice about Keon. That worm, the blood-colored worm. My apologies for getting you caught up in the tentacled nature of that spell. But you seemed, yeah. But it seemed like you handled that worm really well. I mean, it feels like you're good at handling those thick, long, meaty tubes really well and just like ripping it apart. I think you just handled that thick, meaty worm really good. I admire that about you.
I've had a lot of practice.
It's probably practice.
Oh, you've done it before.
That's what I was thinking. Repetition.
Yeah.
You know?
Repetition, yeah, makes mastery.
No, good. Yeah,
Mastery.
So good. So good.
Two-handed. Yeah.
Mastery.
Yeah.
2 hands? Oh, you got to work it with 2 hands? Okay.
Wow.
Trying so hard to be angry, but it's not working. I just keep laughing.
Hard. Very hard.
This is the hardest stuff basically had to make.
You got to cyclone that shit sometimes, right, Keon?
Yeah. Okay, well,
It's just another wow.
It's a tough
for
act to
us.
follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all the time we got tonight, guys.
and all right, bring it back.
Keon's a worm worker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good with the worm.
Aerosmith.
Just as everyone's talking, Rika's just getting redder and redder, and like smoke starts coming out of my ears, and I'm just like shaking with like pent up rage at how obnoxious this is to me.
I guess I can go next. I think this is a good idea to build our trust. I've never done something like this before. Arasit, I like that you've come a long way for the sake of your people. And in doing so, please don't forget our people.
And I'll just sip my tankard.
Yes. Yes, Keon. To be honest, the only reason I came is my father always spoke well of those outside our kingdom. Though many of my kind say we should keep to ourselves. And to be honest, when I first got here, I was very disappointed. But I think I might be starting to see why.
There's still some good among us to be found.
Hopefully many. If we look hard enough. Rika, I admire your strength. If you've lost your parents, I know that's no easy thing. I know what that is like. And that's why I think I like you so much.
You don't know what it's like.
Yes, I do.
You don't know me.
No, but I know what it's like to lose one's parents.
You think it's that simple of just losing your parents. And I storm off as far as I can go. Because we're like locked in a room, right? Where are we?
No, you're not locked in, but yeah, you're in a room. It's a good sized room, but it's not huge. Yeah, so I mean,
All right, I just
you storm 10 feet away.
yeah, go to the corner and just fume over there and have like a little smoke corner.
Does anyone have anything nice to say about Seville?
I mean,
Rika's turn. It's
It's
Rika's
Rika's turn.
turn.
Rika,
Just
Really?
one nice thing. One nice thing.
Really?
I'm going to change into Saviel, to Sava Utiel. I'll do a little disguise self and present myself as the black leather, high boots, shaved head except for a drape of long black hair, olive skin. And I'll say, "Oh, Rika, are you really going to just leave me without any complimentary effort? I don't want to be left alone. It's kind of awkward and, well, it's just a bit sad, actually. I was hoping someone would say something nice about me as a teammate. I thought you and I, of course, share some moments together. I was hoping. We have in the past."
Crack a quiet grin and hide it in my mug.
I just cast a very, very small fire. I like flick it at him. It's like a little.
I'll scoot over to her and I must confess, I do need something. I've always been on my own as an operator, and since that's how I was trained, to be on my own, and I'd very much like to be part of a group. It's not easy for me, of course. So I have a smile on my face, and I'm joking, but it would mean a lot if you would offer something that you've noticed nice about me.
You're good at looking like other people.
Well, thank you. I'll drop the disguise and just go as Seville and walk away.
That's so backhanded.
It's something. It's a start. Now, are we going to... What's this guy's name? Kragmar? Keon, what was the name on the sheet?
Hey, Calvin, as you say
Kegmar.
that, you all kind of pause for a second. You hear this weird noise, and you quiet down. And you hear this scratch, this scratching at the door.
Go to the door. Open the door.
You open it, and there is a squirrel there, looking at you. And it hops past you, and it looks around the room, and it goes right over to Rika.
Walter?
Its tail kind of flicks and turns around and runs out of the room.
I close the door before it runs out.
It just like stops, kind of gives you this look, looks back at you, Rika, hops back to you, jumps up on your clothes and goes up onto your shoulder.
I do a ritual, speak with animals.
10 minutes later. Hey, it's me. I'm not angry anymore, and I've been sent to get you. Yeah, it's me, it's
Senpai.
Walter.
Senpai who?
Come on, I'm not supposed to tell you. I wasn't even supposed to talk. How did you do this? It's so cool. Come on. And he jumps off of you and he runs to the door again. And he's like,
I open it.
okay, and he just bolts out the door and stops and looks at you. Come on.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
And he just runs off again.
Where are we going?
Just you.
Just
And he hops back.
Just
He's like,
me.
are you coming? Come on.
Just me?
Just you. Come on.
You just said there was someone for you to meet.
Yeah, a dryad? What's
All
a
right.
dryad?
What is a dryad?
Have I heard of a dryad?
Yeah, you've heard of him. You've never seen one.
It's a fairy, kind of the forest.
Like a forest.
Do I know what
Person.
Do I know what a fairy is?
A fairy? No. Not in that language. You wouldn't have a direct translation. Nothing like that in the deep.
Yeah.
And he runs back.
Okay.
Are you look, you almost killed me. Are you coming or not?
All right.
Come on.
And just run after him.
Okay. And he excitedly runs the whole time, looking back, his tail twitching, jumping up on railings as he runs down. You seem to be going deeper down, couple levels, but more like deeper into the mountain. And after some time, you come to a lone corridor. It's not as wide as most of the other ones, and it's darker. And it ends this huge wood door that's beautifully carved with kind of nature motif. You see vines and leaves that are kind of embossed off of the wood. And Walter's kind of circling your feet. Yeah, I can't open this door. You're gonna have to put it. It's too heavy. And he's like, not. Come on.
All right. I open the door.
You unlatch it, and and as the door slowly moves open, you get this instant smell of moisture and the sound of pouring water. And as the door opens more, you see, very strangely, you see grass, and you see trees, and you see looks like almost a river. And on the far side, this room, it's a half-domed room. There's a waterfall coming out of the wall that's filling that river, that then you follow with your eyes. You see it goes into some grates and disappears. And at the top, flush smooth with this kind of domed structure, is this 10, maybe 15 foot circular, must be crystal or something. It looks like it is a shaft of crystal that goes to the top of the mountain, and it's bringing daylight down through it. And there's just this little microcosm of a forest, and you see birds chirping and little other animals circling. As you move in, slowly shutting the door behind you, it's the smell that captures your heart more than anything. The sound of the water is great, and the look of the nature, but the smell of being, it's somewhere of a forest of purity, of cleanliness, of health and life, that you feel suddenly so at home. And moving in a little bit more, because it's a good maybe 80 feet diameter, maybe 100 feet, it's hard to tell. You see there are a couple bridges over the waterway. Again, that waterfall's on the far side of the room. And there's one particularly denser clump of trees. And there might be some kind of a structure in there, it's kind of hard to tell. But then it looks like one of the trees is moving. And you realize, no, it's a dryad emerging. Soft, light green skin, a kind of dress almost made of leaves that seem to be growing out of her skin. Vines that originate at her fingertips that kind of snake up her arms and intertwine. And soft brown hair, the color of fallen leaves.
but beautiful, bright golden eyes, and a very soft smile. And she just looks at you. You're
Is this place? Oh,
Rika, I've been told.
that's me.
This is Sanctuary.
For you.
For me and others.
Who are you?
I'm merely a keeper of the forest. Somewhat different, but also similar to what you are. I feel the magic of the world in you.
You called me here.
Yes.
For what?
Well, and she moves closer to you. And she's tall. Thin, but looks very strong. Nothing, no weapons, no staffs, nothing. Just a soft smile. This forest, small as it is not dissimilar to all the forests of our land. And they are all threatened, Rika. And all the powers of goodness are mobilizing all they can to save it.
What would you have me do?
Stay with your party. You don't need to trust yet. I don't know all of your story. It doesn't matter. That is your journey, and it will lead you to a stronger place. After all, when lightning strikes and sets ablaze one of our forests, does it not grow back healthier and stronger for the ordeal? She reaches down and takes your hand, and softly, just barely holding it. Fire purifies, Rika. You are made of fire, from fire. And this land is going to need purification from evil. And she reaches behind her back and pulls out a little scroll. Before the end, you will have your own quest. At the end of this quest, you will find the culmination of the real magic that all of nature has. You will need it if you are to face such terrible darkness.
So what is this?
This scroll? When it is ready, it will bloom, and you will see. Trust, Rika. I know it's not easy for you. I see the pain, I feel the pain, but I also feel the peace, and I feel the goodness, and I feel the light. I feel the smiles and the laughs that you hold within and bury deep. You will not fight this darkness with your own darkness. Release your fire, but trust. And when you're ready, that will lead you to something that will help.
So I just wait?
No. You grow.
Very cryptic.
This is so cool.
You look down, and Walter's just like, whoa, sorry. And it runs over and jumps in a tree.
So can you give me any more information than that? Than growing and waiting and...
No, you don't need it. You're gonna have to take that step. You took this first step in joining these friends of yours. There's a power in nature that you will discover that once attuned to it, you can see much through its eyes. And I have been watching you as best as I could. I watch all the daughters of the forest. There aren't many left. You have chosen well. Now trust in your choice.
Right. Thank you.
Time is running out. You have all tarried too long.
We're doing our best.
I know.
Well, is that it then?
That's it for now.
All right.
Rika, we're all in this with you. You understand that? And we'll all be there when we can and when you need us.
Who is we?
All of the forests of the world. All the beasts and creatures. And plants and trees. The power of our nature was not banished in the departing. You still have your magic, remember that. I've taken up too much of your time. I know it is hours before you depart the city. Guard that as you would any seedling. Guard your party as if they were any seedling.
Thank you, I think.
You're welcome.
Bye. And I slowly back out of the grassy woodland room.
She slowly retreats, watching you the whole time. Okay, bye. I mean, could have said bye to Walter. It's fine.
I'm not coming with.
I mean, and he looks to the dryad. Oh, and he leaps off the tree and runs over and jumps on your back and runs up onto your shoulder. And he looks at you. We're going on an adventure. And as you head for the door, we're gonna leave it there tonight, everyone.
I got Walter!
Walter
Where
found
on
his
earth did
way
he come from?
back. The forest is watching. Remember, the forest is watching.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Cryptic DM stuff.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
That's wild.
So, thank you everybody out there. I know we got a raid there at the end, so welcome, thank you. If you didn't know, anybody who follows us, we're making a donation for every follow to Extra Life to save kids' lives. So we'll tally up all the follows we got tonight and we'll make that donation. And we're gonna keep this going for the rest of May. So spread the word, let's help kids together and hang out and play some motherfucking D&D. We had a lot of lore to dump tonight, and you all did great. It's about to go back into overdrive as you guys are back on the road. So
Yay.
Don't miss next week's episode where we see you once again.
Our last one over Zoom.
That's right. Our last Zoom game back in the studio. Back in the studio. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So don't miss that. It's gonna be a blast. Until then, we love you all. Be safe out there. Let's look out for each other. Play D&D. Help us support Extra Life. And a special thank you to Wildfire Minis and Family Fantasy RPG for sponsoring tonight. Love you guys. Bye-bye. See you next team. Sure.
Adios.
Next turn.
Everyone.
Adios, adios.
Bye-bye.